This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
When protecting your family is your priority, there's nothing more important than a roof above the people you love. Call Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411 and ask to speak to Tommy, the owner. They specialize in all kinds of roofs, led by their highly crafted, skilled, and professional roof mechanics. All of their previous customers have an opportunity to enter their bi-weekly drawings to receive free an exterior impact metal door. Please call for more details. That's Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411. Trust Tommy to fortify and protect what's most important to you, your family.
Doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
South Florida's premier law enforcement agency is now hiring individuals like you. The Fort Lauderdale Police Department is now accepting applications for non-certified and certified police officer positions. Minimum requirements and qualifications can be found at flpdjobs.com. That's flpdjobs.com. Are you ready? The city of Fort Lauderdale is an equal opportunity employer.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show. Judge, you tuned in to the hottest sports radio.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
Orlando, a.k.a. the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Dolphins to the Heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, lollipop blow in the...
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Show O's on the radio, the top's where we gonna go, Miami, that's the way we roll.
Folks, you can support the hardest working sports talk show in South Florida through Cash App or Venmo. Just search Cash Big O Show. Support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. We thank you for your incredible support.
On the morning show, Big O, no one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk...
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Live and direct, because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise, listen live.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee, and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today, 786-802-1727, or online at adreamlending.com. The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of fantasyxs.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
The Big O Radio Show is brought to you by Sports Grill. Good food, good drinks, good friends. Craig Zinn Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealership in the Southeast United States. The Fort Lauderdale Police Department. The FLPD is hiring. Go to FLPDjobs.com.
The Big O Radio Show originates from the OK Coin Studios. Invest a little time and save big. Just set the recurring buy and pay, 0 transaction fee after your first purchase. The Big O Radio Show is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley from the OK Coin Studios. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Alrighty. Yes, sir. It's a hump day. It's a beautiful one. We are pumped. We are psyched today. Sean and I get to hit the road. We're going to go to New York tonight. We'll be tomorrow morning broadcasting live from Sloman's Yeah, and I hope you have protected your home already by calling Sloman's like we do here in the Alzigari family. So we're going to be having some fun. Yeah, and I told Mother Nature, that nor'easter crap, get it out of the way, baby. You're not going to give me that while we're there, right? So, Sean, I checked out the weather. It's cold, but it won't be snowing. There will be no nor'easters, all that good stuff. So, it'll be all right. So, and you can pass on any tips for some restaurants. Saturday, Sean and I are pretty much, we're not going to go to any concerts. I was going to go see The Alarm, but it's an acoustic set. And, I'd rather see, I've seen The Alarm a couple times, and it's not like Sean's a big Alarm guy. You know what I mean? So it's not like he even knows who The Alarm is. So I can't torture him to take him to see The Alarm and then put him through an acoustic set, which I would appreciate, but he won't. You know what I mean? Billie Eilish is also in town at MSG. So, I got to say, I'm a little tempted. She's talented, and to see her at MSG, but the only problem is, man, those tickets are expensive. And those screaming girls, oh, Lordy, we're going to need like extra earplugs for that one. So no concert. So we'll probably hang out on Saturday in New York City, check out some stuff. Sean wants to get a lot of B-roll for the show. So, now we start traveling in different places. You're going to start seeing we're going to load up on some B-roll and the imaging and the show and all that good stuff. So he's smart. He's got the right idea, all that good stuff. So we can hit a restaurant. So just in case if there's, something for lunch and dinner on Saturday, you tell me. We've already got plans on Thursday and Friday. And remember, this Friday, for those of you that live in that New York area, New Jersey, New York, Rhode Island, all that stuff, if you want to join us at Slattery's, there in New York City, we're going to be there on Friday night at 8 o'clock. So we want to hang out with you all, and who knows, maybe we'll broadcast, put everybody on air and all that good stuff and have some fun. You know what I would love to do at Slattery's? Get a bunch of people together. All right. So if you're watching, all right, we should actually make this video right now separately here, Sean. Okay. So I want to catch as many Dolphin fans as possible at Slattery's this Friday, February 18th. We'll be there at 8 p.m. We'll bring a laptop and everything. We'll try to broadcast if we get enough people out there. I'd like to get a big group of Dolphin fans and sing the Dolphin fight song right there in Slattery's. All right, let's get together, have a couple of beers, talk some stuff. There's some good stuff. I think there's good stuff going on with the Miami Dolphins. But that's just me, whatever. I'll look at it the way I want to look at it. And but seriously, overall, I'd love to meet as many of you out there as possible on Friday night over at Slattery's in New York City. So that's the Dolphin Bar. Let's go, baby. Let's load it up. Would love to have some fun with all of you out there, share a beer and have a good time. So if you live in the area, work in the area, you can be there. I am waiting, by the way, for the folks at Sloman's to give me the heads up, because we will find out some folks want to visit because they can't get to the city, but they live closer to Sloman's headquarters in Long Island. So they want to find out if they can visit us there, and I am waiting for the answer from Sloman's. So they are about to tell me any moment now what's the deal and if you can visit us. I think they're trying to accommodate the whole thing. I really do. I really think they're trying to do it. I don't know. I haven't been there, so I don't know the logistics of it and all that good stuff. But listen, any of you out there that want to even visit us over at Sloman's, thank you. I appreciate all of you out there. Sean and I can't thank you enough for all of the support that you guys give us every single day, downloading the show, watching it. Don't forget to always smash that like button when you're downloading the show and listening to the podcast at any time, or if you're watching live right here. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate all of you out there as always. And let's see who was Who was first again? Was it Chapman? Of course. Chapman is in first, and Zorrilla is in second. I see it there. I like it. David Triana in. Ron in. Let's see. Big O, can you really tell McDaniel has a Rolodex? Yeah. He's got a Rolodex, unlike Camflo. He's put together a hell of a staff. Yeah, I might as well start off with some of the Dolphin stuff, right? Let's get into it because I know some of you are already chomping at the bit to talk a little Miami Dolphins out there. Did I invite Dougley? I hope Dougley can go. That would be awesome. I'm gonna be doing a show today with Dougley, by the way. So right after I get off, we'll be doing a show, Dougley and I. So there'll be a new edition with Dougley and myself coming up shortly. So, yeah, man, I don't know if Dougley can go over to Slattery's. I would love that. I don't know exactly where he lives. Let me be completely transparent. I don't know exactly where Dougley lives, how close or far he is from that area. So I have no idea. So I can't assume that he's going to go there. But if he's close enough, I would love to see Dougley there, man. Love to give my man a big old hug and share a beer with him. Hell yeah, that would be fun. Let's get into it. All right. So the Miami Dolphins, apparently, Mike McDaniel has added a couple of pieces to his coaching staff. First of all, he hired Tyrone McKenzie as an outside linebacker. He's a 36-year-old. And then he's also hired Darrell Bevel as a passing game coordinator and QB coach. Now, this is a guy that's coached Favre. This is a guy that has coached Gus Frerotte, Tavares Jackson, Brad Johnson, Brett Favre, Matt Hasselbeck, Russell Wilson, Matt Stafford, and now Trevor Lawrence. Okay? The good thing about Darrell Bevel is he's definitely a QB coach. And it's really, really cool to have a guy like this. And he's already had experience as a head coach on an interim basis. I think twice, right? I think he took over somewhere. Maybe in Minnesota he took over after they fired a coach there or something. I forgot, or somewhere else. I don't know. Maybe it was, or maybe there was just this time. But he's got some experience as a head coach. That's good. He's got experience a long time as an offensive coordinator and a long time as a QB coach. And he's a good QB coach. Offensive coordinator, that's not what he's going to be here. So I don't have to worry about that. And I know that he was part of the whole Seattle thing and the pass, which should have been a run and all that stuff, but he's not going to be the offensive coordinator here. So I'm not worried about that. The offensive coordinator is Mike McDaniel. But what I love about having Darrell Bevel there is that that's a QB coach. And that's a real QB coach. And that's a guy that can work with Tua, a guy that's worked with all kinds of really good QBs. That's his thing, QB coach. He's been a coordinator and he's been a head coach and all that stuff. But really, I love this. And it's an experienced guy, way more experienced than McDaniel. And if you notice, McDaniel does something that Flo is not willing to do. He's willing to bring people over that have more experience than him. And to me, that's a passing grade. Whereas with Flo, he wanted everybody to be below him. And that, to me, that's insecurity is what that is. McDaniel is secure with who he is and what he wants to do. And so now you got Bevel and you're going to make him your passing coordinator, QB coach. That's the perfect thing right there. That's what you want him working with, like he has with Russell, like he has with Favre, like he has with Hasselbeck, like he has with Stafford, with some of the he can, that's what he is. He's a QB coach, not a coordinator, and not a head coach. And there's nothing wrong with that. We've talked about this many, many times over. And so you start to look at when he hiring Frank Smith and along with Applebaum and then himself and everything else that they're working on now, they are clearly focused on fixing the offense, addressing the problems. Remember yesterday I made the Bill Zito comparison? This is exactly what it smells like. And can you smell what the McDaniel is cooking? Because he's cooking some sweet stuff. I love what he's building as an offensive staff. This is a real offensive staff, not the garbage that we saw here the last couple of years. While, everybody was, not everybody, but a lot of people were, everybody pretty much in the media except myself was saying, oh, no, it's the front office. And then I was the guy saying coaching. Then we had people in the media and, of course, fans starting to figure out, coaching's actually really, really bad. And that's been the real problem on this team. And that's the reason why they didn't make the playoffs, is because of coaching. And that's what I'm looking at right now. And I tweeted this out yesterday, and I'm going to tell you straight up, I apologize. I am sorry. Okay? I'm sorry for my enthusiasm. I apologize because I know the Dolphins have burned us over and over and over again. But guess what? I'm getting enthusiastic again, and I'm getting excited about the 2022 season and the potential of the 2022 season. This is a 9-10 win team that needs to improve its offense. You get me a better offense, and we're in the playoffs. And we're watching the Dolphins in the freaking playoffs. This is not a rebuild. This is not a reset. Nothing. You got continuity on defense. You got continuity on special teams. Fix the effing offense. And what I'm seeing is a dude that's addressing the issues of this offense. He's getting the quarterback a quarterback's coach. He's going to address the hell out of the line, and he's going to make sure they can run the damn ball. So, I'm sorry. I get fooled again. I get suckered. I get reeled in again. Whatever you want to call me. Go ahead, Sean. Fire off the blind-ass fan alert for yours truly. Fire away.
Blind-ass fan alert. Look out, everyone. We've got a blind-ass fan coming through.
Chia.
Yeah, exactly. The Chia Pet is excited. I'm pumped. I think we got a guy that understands what the hell the problem is, like Bill Zito. And he's addressing the hell out of the problem. And I think they're going to do their best in the front office to complete that. Do you know why, ladies and gentlemen? Because there's actual synergy now in the front office and the coaches. They're actually looking at it the same way. Instead of having the coach want to fight you on everything because he knows it all, he can coach every side of the ball, he can draft all the players because, of course, he knows everything. So he's cock-blocking half of the stuff going on and wanting it to go in another direction. That's why they wanted to fire his ass probably last year. And they hung on to him. And when it started 1-7, they said, enough's enough. The suckers in the media, the suckers in the fan base fell in love with the 7-game winning streak and forgot completely about 1-7. The owner in the front office did not and said, enough is enough. This is a playoff team and it's not in the playoffs. So we could talk about the first year and allegedly the owner wanting to tank, but then the coach doesn't want to tank. Okay, which, whatever. And now this year, well, the owner and the front office go, wait a minute, we're a playoff team and we're 1-7. So now you've got a coach and a front office working together in unison. I guarantee you the results will be different this year. You can tell already. This is not a combative human being that is at the top right now running the football team. This is a guy that is a problem solver. This is a people person. which, by the way, if you're going to be a leader, you got to have some people skills. And Flo showed us no people skills. And I'm sorry, dude. The gruff, tough, growling, snarling, snotting, whatever head coach, that flies when you've got a bunch of rings. But until you get the bunch of rings, they're not going to tolerate you that way. You can't come in like some kind of tyrant when you haven't done anything. So it's about people skills. And I'm just watching right now from a distance something that looks like it's actually being put together that makes a lot of sense. We're not watching a guy pull guys out of high school to come here because he has no contact list. This guy apparently has a contact list. And he's got a deep contact list. And he is fixing the issue that they had. Frank Smith was very successful with what he was doing with the Chargers. Darrell Bevell has been a very successful QB coach throughout. What have I told you? That guy that keeps getting hired all over the place, fans would tell me, well, that's what's wrong. That guy gets, he's fired and hired. That's because he's good. He's not the problem. He's part of the solution, and people know it. So you put him in his role as QB coach and passing coordinator, fantastic. Applebaum must also know the blocking schemes, but at the same time, it's because if Frank Smith gets an elevation somewhere, Applebaum is being groomed. That's what this guy McDaniel's doing. He's playing chess. Everybody else is playing checkers. We're all just Matt Applebaum, not a lot of experience. Well, you idiot. That's because they hired Frank Smith that has the experience, and Applebaum will be the guy that will learn from Frank Smith because McDaniel knows down the line in a year or 2 or 3 he could lose Frank Smith, but then Applebaum will be ready. That's kind of the way I'm looking at it. So he's not only trying. Remember what I told you about a head coach. It's not just about creating a staff now. It's about creating a staff for the future because you're going to hire and fire people. That's just the way it goes. He's going to hire somebody he's not happy with in a year or 2, and he's going to have to let that person go and replace him. And he's going to lose somebody that got elevated somewhere else, and now he's going to have to replace him. And he's going to lose somebody else that had to retire for some family reason or personal reason or whatever, and he's going to have to replace him. And he's going to lose another guy that's going to get a head coaching job in college, and he's going to have to replace him. That's what a head coach does. And a head coach has to think about what he's placing now and what he may have for the future. Because he has to try to groom. That's why you have these assistant O-line coach, assistant running back coach, assistant wide receiver coach, game coordinator, passing coordinator, run coordinator, yada, 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 all these kind of things. When you have all these extra assistants, those are the guys that are learning in the process. I like what I'm seeing from this staff. I really do. I think they're addressing the problem that the Miami Dolphins have had for a while. And now Tua has a chance to succeed. I cannot. This gets me even more pumped up for free agency and the draft. This is a 9-10 win team that needs to re-sign a couple of guys, and they can go get some guys in free agency, and they can get even better. That excites me. Now I get to see the quarterback actually hopefully have protection, have a running game. Now play action will work. Now an RPO can be respected. There's a lot of things that the dominoes will fall into place, and that's going to be a lot of fun. Remember the Welton Rayom text line, 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. If you want to get in on the program, you can send us a text, comments. Of course, you can always make a donation right there at Cash App or Venmo. That's Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Send your question in there through Cash App or Venmo. We will read it. By the way, Sloman's Home Security, proud sponsor of the program. 1-800-ALARM-ME. And folks, right now, the first 40 Big O listeners, you're going to get a free doorbell camera when you dial up 1-800-ALARM-ME or hit that link right below here on our YouTube page so you can protect your family and your business. And folks, this connects directly to your smartphone. You get to watch anything and everything going on with that doorbell camera. And with your Sloman's Home Security, you can also see everything going on inside and outside of your home. You're going to get professional installation when you use our low-cost central station monitoring. You'll get an LED touchscreen pad, motion detector, 3-arm doors, and a backup battery. 1-800-ALARM-ME for the first 40 Big O listeners. Call Sloman's, baby. They will definitely protect you and your family. The David Triana podcast says, hey-o, what are the indicators to look for that tell you a player position is performing well because of coaching versus just sheer talent? You know, here's the thing about all of that, David. I think it's a mix of things. You got to look at some stats at times, but I think you also have to look at the game itself. And the Dolphin defense and certain players excelled in the second half of the season against the poorest schedule. But then against the better schedule in the first half of the season when they went 1-7, they struggled. And they weren't the same team. And that's what the front office also saw. That, wait a minute, hold on, the coaching staff and all that, they couldn't hang with the better teams. And then when the worst teams come up in the second half, that's when they were able to pretty much scoop up most of their victories. And so you have to also see, situations that the players put in. Is it a pressure situation? Is it a non-pressure situation? Is it early in the game? Is it late in the game? That's the problem with stats. Stats don't tell you when those stats happened, right? We always used to laugh at A-Rod because he'd always get a lot of home runs when the games were over. We used to laugh at Ryan Tannehill because he'd pump up the stats because they were trailing by a bunch. And then they were playing prevent defense and he'd pick up a bunch of stats towards the end. Then the stats would look a little better, but it was deceiving if you actually watch the game. And that's why, David, as you know, because you watch this show all the time, what do I always say? Did you watch the game? Did you see it? Because the stats aren't always going to tell you if a player is excelling or not. He might be getting by because of the situation that he was in. He might have picked up 3 sacks in the last 3 weeks because he happened to be playing 3 teams that had porous situations in their offensive line or injuries. But then, he piles on, he ends up with like 9 sacks, but he got like half of them against really bad teams. And you start to look at it and it's a little deceiving. And then the other guy that got maybe 10 sacks and 8 of them were against really good teams. Those are the things that aren't looked at. And that's my problem when people just rely on stats. So you literally have to look at the games and understand the situations. Why do you think I never believe in Ryan Tannehill? Because of situations. It's not stats. People can put up stats all the time. Pressure, baby. When you're put in the corner and you've got to come through, that you don't just have to hand it off and let the monster get 15 yards for you or 35 or break a 70-yarder and you're advancing in a playoff game by throwing 90 yards. You see what I'm saying? That's because there was no pressure on you during that game. But you saw this past couple weeks ago. When there was pressure, he succumbed to the pressure. But if you're a sucker, David, not you, I'm saying in general, those people that then they look at Ryan and they look at his stats the last couple of years and then they come back at you and say, well, look at his stats. He's really a good player. No, he's not. He's a facilitator. And they've used him that way. And they've been able to design everything so he can excel. Because that's part of the game. Part of coaching is setting up your players to succeed. And then your players have to execute in order to succeed. Right? So you can help them to a certain extent, but there's going to come a time when push comes to shove and they're going to have to make a play or two. And can he do that? No. And that's why I never believed in him. And that's why stats don't tell you the whole thing. So when you say indicators, these are it right here. These will always be my indicators. The stats can only help me sometimes. They will not tell me the whole story all the time. So it's a mix, my brother. You can use some stats, but if you don't watch the games, then you really don't know the whole story. At least that's been my experience that I've watched sports since I was a child. You have to literally watch the games because the situations will explain who they are. How many times did I see Marino with 45 seconds left and a minute and 10 and 2:12 left on the clock, and you're down by 3 or 6 or 7 or maybe 10 or 12 and you need 2 scores? And I watched the son of a bitch drive him down twice because that's who he is. And by the way, you know how many times I saw Marino, maybe a touchdown and 2 interceptions in a game towards the end of the fourth quarter? And he didn't have a good game, and then all of a sudden he comes up with 2 touchdowns, and it says 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Oh, wow, Marino kicked ass. Well, actually, he struggled, but the last quarter is where situation. So as much as I love Marino, nobody's going to argue with me that watched Marino, because there were times where he forced things, and he got himself in a hole. But that's the difference with Marino and a 17. You could get in a hole, like Andrew Luck would do that at times too. His team wasn't very good. He's forcing things. When you don't have a defense and a running game like Marino and and only the left side of the line, you're forcing shit all the time. So you're going to make mistakes. Andrew Luck, same thing. Mediocre team. I remember people used to say, well, Andrew Luck plays on a bad division. It's like, what the F is wrong with you, you idiot? He got to the playoffs. He carried the whole team, and then he won games in the playoffs against playoff teams. And yet I had people like, oh, well, the division. No, dude, look at the player. Because Andrew Luck would get himself in trouble all the time. But then he'd get himself out of the trouble. So did John Elway. So did Dan Marino. You know what I mean? Situations. Stats never, ever tell you the whole story. That's why I always laugh when people are just making arguments with me or discussions with me, and they're basing it all on stats. And then I know they didn't see the game. I know they didn't really watch the player. I know they didn't really watch the situations. So that, to me, that's where I respect you more, when I know you watch the game. Because I know you know the certain instances that happen that I don't care if you had 300 yards. But at the end of the game, when you had the game on the line, what happened, dude? Oh, you didn't come through. Oh, I see. Because why? Because you're a front runner. Okay. There's plenty of quarterbacks like that. You know? I remember Charlie Batch would have some decent games. Why? Because he was a front runner and he had some pretty good players around him. But then when the game got hairy and he had to then be the difference maker, he couldn't do it. And I could come up with 50 quarterbacks like that are not going to be able to do it. Kirk Cousins is another one. He'll put up a whole bunch of stats. But then when the game's on the line and he's backed up at his 15-yard line and there's a minute and 10, he's not going to bail you out. If Cook isn't running and if guys aren't making incredible plays, he's not going to be the difference maker. But you can rely on all the stats you want. Watch the games. How many times does he bail you out? He doesn't. Russell Wilson will with magic. Aaron Rodgers will. Situations. And those guys will get themselves in trouble too. Russell Wilson will get in trouble all the time because he doesn't play with a great team at times. He has to do so much, and then he has to do even more to get himself out of those problems. Situations, man. The eye is the best teacher and the best educator on what you're watching. It isn't the numbers. Those can be skewed in so many different ways. Adrian Hernandez, thank you for the love on the super chat. I'll be at Slattery's, Big O. Hope Doug can make it as well to talk Dolphins football. I would love to see Doug there. Now, I'm going to talk to him today to make sure to ask him if he's going to go buy Slattery's. I don't know exactly where he lives. Do you guys know exactly where he lives in the state? I have no idea. I've never asked him that, to be honest with you. So I'd be lying if I told you I knew where he lives. But I would love for him to come by. That would be a lot of fun to go hang out there and have some fun. Carla Williams says, there is something saying Tunsil is coming back to Miami. I've not seen anything about it. They are saying for a first-round draft pick. That would be I'll gladly give him the 20 whatever pick. What is it? 26, 23rd, 28, whatever the hell it is. Gladly. You can have it. Give me Tunsil. That would be funny. You get all those picks for him, and then you just have to only give back one again for him. I'll take it. I'll take it. The problem is because of the salary, they have to give him away. They can't get they're not going to be able to get his value in return because you have to have the cap space and the draft capital. And people that's just a combination. It's too deadly. So that's where it ends up hurting. I don't know if that's true or not. I have no idea. Now, I told you Eichenberg's a right tackle. A lot of people have told me that. So maybe you put Tunsil at left tackle and you move Eichenberg to right tackle. You have Hunt at right guard. You go after my boy in Tampa for the center. And, you can also get his Kappa at guard and put him at left guard, and you're fine. If you sign Ryan Jensen and Alex Kappa for left guard and center, you trade for Tunsil, you move Eichenberg over, and you have Hunt. I love what we're doing. Love what we're doing. That would be a lot of fun. I can deal with that. If we're gonna play the fantasy game here on in free agency and trade. Frankie Fresco says, I like Bevel, but isn't his new role a demotion? Well, it's what he is, my brother. That's what I just said right now, Frankie. That's where you want him as a quarterback's coach and a passing coordinator. You don't want him as an offensive coordinator or a head coach. That's not what he is. No diss. No diss. But Mike is putting him where he belongs. QB coach, passing coordinator. That's it. You don't want him calling plays, none of that. And you want his experience to help out Mike. That's kind of what it also is. It's a sounding board for McDaniel to have a guy like Bevel around, which is priceless, man. I love it. Absolutely love it. Let me tell you also what I'm looking forward to for this season. And I know this is going to sound crazy when some people hear this, okay? I'm looking forward to Tua shutting people just absolutely down. I really am. I think this coach is going to figure out their issues. I think we're going to see what we're watching with the Panthers right now. I'm not telling you that they're going to dominate the league like the Panthers are doing. What I mean is that the GM took over 2 years ago and fixed the Panthers' problems right away. And that's what McDaniel's going to do. And because of that, look, I think a lot of people don't understand the quarterback position. And I think that's why Tua gets the terrible rap that he gets, and it's undeserved. Because people don't understand what's going on around him, so they don't understand the quarterback position. Just like I tell you, Marino doesn't have a championship because Shula couldn't figure out a running game, the right side of the line, and the defense, dude. That's why. Marino killed himself, tried to do everything he could. And that's Marino. Well, you think Tua doesn't need any help and he wins 10 games? And he needs help. So if you get him a running game and you get him a line that can actually block and you add another wide receiver there as a threat next to Waddle, and I don't know if they keep Gesicki or not. I have no idea what they're going to do with him. But either or, if you get him that running game, I think Tua is going to stick it to a lot of people. And a lot of people are going to look really, really foolish when they start to watch a guy run an offense that actually can have a ton of success in the NFL. Because unfortunately, too many of you are short-sighted thinking that offenses are all the ball in the air 70 yards. When that's a rarity. That's not something that's like every other play in football. This is a accurate quarterback, a really smart quarterback. The problem is, like any other quarterback, he's got to be complemented with the right pieces. And Brian Flores failed to do that on the field and in the classroom. And I truly feel that Mike McDaniel already has assembled a staff that is 1,000 times superior to the garbage that Flores put together. And I'm not saying that now. You all know that. Well, not all of you, because we do have new listeners and viewers almost every day here now. But those of you that have been with us, I was the only guy slamming the coaching from the get-go, from the beginning of the season. So this is nothing new. I told you from early in the season, this is the worst coaching staff in the history of the Miami Dolphins. I've never seen a worse offensive coaching staff ever in the history of the Miami Dolphins. Cam Flo will hold that designation forever, because I don't think anybody is, that poor at building teams that they could build a worse offensive staff than Brian Flores. So now that they get a strong staff and they fix their offensive line and they get that running game going, you're going to see a completely different quarterback, and a lot of people are going to be eating crow, because that kid's going to look different when you've got a real coach, a real coaching staff working with them, and a real running game that's actual threat. I just think about it. I can't imagine what Marino would have ever been if you would have given him a defense and a running game. I don't know how many titles we would have won, but it would have been at least a couple. I can guarantee you that. Marino would have killed it with a running game and a defense. And you know what? Almost every quarterback, if you give them the right pieces, they probably can make a run for you. Good quarterbacks. And I think Tua's a hell of a quarterback. He just needs the support system around him. And I think now he's getting it. So I apologize. I'm excited about what's going on with the Miami Dolphins. I really think they're doing the right things. Kyle says, I really hope you're right, Big O. So do I, man, because we need some different stuff on the field, my brother. Eric Storm says, Tua's a top 10 QB with a half-decent team around him. Flo held Gesicki off the field. Yeah, no, I know. Flo played Jalen Phillips as a pass, in pass coverage. Flo had his linebacker playing middle linebacker when we all know he's an outside linebacker, and then finally moved him to outside linebacker and he blew up. Flo isn't the genius that some people make him out to be. Sometimes, the little birdie looks good when he's hanging around mama, and then when he's got to go fly on his own, it doesn't look that good, and that's kind of what it is. Give me a QB who constantly makes 20-yard completions over someone who chucks it 75 yards but can't hit a bull in the ass with a handful of rice. There you go. If Tom Brady had been drafted by a team like Detroit, he would have gone down in history as an afterthought with no rings. QB is only as good as the team around him and coaching staff. Amen. Amen. Adrian says, Northern Jersey, Big O. Okay, so Northern Jersey, so you're really not that far from the city then, right? If I'm correct? All right, so you're just telling me that, so then I got to put pressure on Dougley this afternoon when I talk to him and say, hey, bro, we got to see you there on Friday. Tua had back-to-back winning seasons with a mediocre coach. Amen to that. But let's leave the. I mean, Christopher, you're dealing with facts, bro. You know, these haters, they don't want to deal with any facts. You know, it's like, well, he didn't get to the playoffs. Well, neither did Justin Herbert. Blah, 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 blah. You know, it's the same thing. Oh, well, Tua, he struggled against Tennessee. Okay, Justin Herbert choked against Houston. What do you want me to do? Better team, better coaching staff, better players, everything better for Justin. Couldn't win more. But, you know, why even deal with the facts? Who cares about facts? He just looks so much better. So that's it. Let's see. Thomas says, just listen to a 15-second clip of our O-line coach trying to answer a question by Omar about our O-line improvement, and you can understand why Flo was fired. Perfect case of failure. Amen. Amen. Pepe Le Pew was just terrible, dude. Terrible. Mediocre is not a winning season, so stop with Flo. Had back-to-back, blah, blah. No, but listen. That's the beauty of all of this, that you think about it. He held a team back that won 10 games. Think about that statement. Brian Flores held back a team that won 10 games. So that's all you need to know. If they had like a real coach, they might have won another game or two. They might have gotten in the playoffs with a real coach. That's the scary part about all of this. Not that they would have made a major impact, but it would have been nice to get a little playoff experience for the guys. But that's the funny part, you know? So it's crazy, man. Big O, who should the Dolphins get to back up Tua? One of you mentioned Teddy Bridgewater a couple weeks ago. I thought that was an excellent call. Love that. Because you want a guy that's like a coach. And that's the way I view Teddy. You know, Teddy, unfortunately, the good Lord cheated him out of the talent he needed for the NFL level. You know what I mean? It's his heart and character that has made him have some success in the NFL. Kind of like Steve Walsh. You know, that he had some success. I think the Bears even made the playoffs with Steve Walsh one year. But Steve, you knew he just didn't have, the Lord didn't bless him with that. You know, the Lord blessed Steve Walsh and Teddy Bridgewater with enough talent to be dominant and a Hall of Fame all the way up to the college level. But they didn't give him that. The good Lord did not give him enough gas in the tank for the NFL one. You know what I'm saying? And so you don't have it, you don't have it. You can't do anything about it. But I love Teddy Bridgewater as a backup. That would be my perfect backup to Tua. For Tua to go to the sidelines and have that guy to bounce stuff off of, and Teddy will definitely see things that Tua has not. I think it would be beautiful to sign Teddy Bridgewater as the backup. That would be a perfect, because he's a pro's pro too. You know, he's not going to come in with an attitude. He's not going to come in with Brissett. Like, Teddy may think he's a starter, but he's not going to be a disruptive person or anything. Not that Brissett was either, but you know what I'm saying? I think Teddy will play the role because he's a pro. I would love that. I think that was a really, really good one by somebody. I don't know which one of you suggested that a couple of weeks ago, but I thought that was a great suggestion as a backup QB. I would love that one. See what else. Too Extreme says, Big O, it feels great right now seeing how McDaniel's quietly building a staff to address the biggest problem the team has had for so many years. It looks like a great start right now in the staff. Yep, I agree. I totally agree. Nyborg says, Josh Allen choked against the Jags with stanky finger. Yeah, I mean, but Josh Allen has already proven, he's done what Herbert hasn't yet. He's played at these levels that he has elevated his team into the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? And the other day in the playoff game, they didn't lose because of Josh Allen. You know what I'm saying? When I see Herbert do those things, then I will say, okay, yep, there you go. Now the Now the quarterback matches the talent because Herbert's talent is exceptional. That I will never argue. Show me that you're going to be what I see in Josh Allen, what I see in Aaron Rodgers, what I see in Russell Wilson, what I see in Tom Brady, what you see in elite quarterbacks, that they're able to take over and win in key situations against big games, big teams, big moments. You can't choke against Houston like he did. If you're that guy. If you're a young QB still, okay, then that's what happens. But you haven't crossed the threshold that I already saw Joe Burrow cross. You understand what I'm saying? Again, we go back to what I was talking about, the eye test. Okay? Not how you look and how you throw. No. In the key moments, what are you doing? Okay? Joe Burrow's not throwing a pick six in a key moment against a bad team. That's what I'm talking about. So when I see that in guys, like out of the guys that have come out the last, 3 years, Burrow's the only one. He's the only one out of all of them. We can talk about whatever you like or whatever you don't like or whatever. I don't care. Burrow, in my eyes, is the only one that I've seen that is, okay, no, that's the dude. But you saw that at LSU. So you shouldn't be surprised when you see it at LSU. A middle broken finger in the cold and flow. Only plan in the Titan game was throw the ball when Duke got going, pulled him through the game for sure. Well, I don't know if he threw the game or he's just stupid. I'll go with just stupid because I saw his challenges and they were just terrible. I'm telling you, he's the worst. The NFL has a major problem with the hiring of minorities. Don't use Flo as your example, dude. Don't. It's a real problem. You need to address it. Use the right example for it. Do not use Brian Flores for it. Not the example you want to use. Terrible example for the clear problem that the NFL has. Let's see what else. Tua beat the Chargers toe-to-toe in a good game against the Chiefs and Ravens on Thursday Night Football. Steve Chapman says, this offseason is giving us what we've been missing the last several years, hope. And Jason is 1,000% right. Defense won that Ravens game. Yes. But I again, for me, that Ravens game was a terrific win. But where it doesn't carry as much weight for me as some of you out there. I have very little respect for Lamar Jackson, the quarterback. Very little. I don't think he's much of a passer. I think he's a rinky-dink passer, dude. He's an athlete throwing the ball. And once in a while, he'll make some amazing throws because he's an athlete. But I know if you keep him in the pocket, you can beat his ass every time. Lamar Jackson can only beat you with his legs. And if he's not beating you with his legs, his arm is useless. His arm is only good when he's beating you with his legs because he can play off of it a little bit and make a couple of plays. So for me, the Ravens win. If you have a good secondary and a good pass rush, Lamar Jackson shouldn't beat you ever. A remedial passer should not beat you. And that's what he is. He's an athlete, dude. Playing quarterback. So that's again, the eye test. That's what I see. I don't see a passer. I see an athlete trying to figure it out, and he can't figure it out. He's been in this league. To give that guy a long-term, big-time contract is stupid. Why? He's already breaking down. As predicted, by the way. Here's where I was wrong. I thought he would already be broken down by now. I give him credit on that. He has lasted longer than I expected. I got to give Lamar credit in that sense. I thought he'd be broken in half by now. It's coming. I'm wishing on it, but it's coming. Because If you can't make a living from the pocket, you will die running the football in the NFL. Okay? I don't care if you're Cam Newton, dude, and you're built like Superman. They're going to break you in half at one point or another. You're going to have your Haloti Nada moment, and you're going to be RG3, and they're going to break you in half. You cannot live in this league on your feet. So the Dolphin win against the Ravens was fun. It was awesome. It's impressive to stop that running game. It's not impressive to stop that passing game. Just isn't. You know what I mean? I'm just not that guy that has ever really looked at Lamar and like, oh my God, what a quarterback. No, dude. No. What an athlete. Yeah. One of the freakish athletes I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen a running back outside of maybe Barry Sanders that can run and shift and change directions on a dime. Like, never seen that in my life. But Lamar Jackson, the passer, please give me a break. That's a joke. Corporate time stealing weasel here, says Johnny Rotten. When we are eligible to go back to the retro logo, and how do we as fans get a say in that? Johnny, you get no say in that. Like, you get no say in anything, really. Let's be honest. But, I mean, you can write a letter to Tom Garfinkel if you want. I think it's happening. But you're going to have to wait a couple of years here. But I think we're pretty close to it. They know, bro. They know they made a mistake with that logo. And that's not on Garfinkel. I think Garfinkel knows it's a mistake because it came before him, I believe. So Garfinkel will probably change it. Oh, just curious if you have any horror tales from the days when concerts were general seating. I was super young when the Who concert 79 happened. Watched on YouTube this week in horror. Oh, yeah, when people got trampled. Yeah, the only one that I have of horror would be Rush. It was the exit. Is it called Exit Stage Left tour? Right. It was right after Tom Sawyer. I think it's called Exit Stage Left. The Moving Pictures tour. Well, the next one was Exit Stage Left, I believe, the live album. So they come to the Hollywood Sportatorium, and we're about to go in to the Sportatorium, and the Sportatorium was surrounded by a fence. Okay. And all of a sudden, dude, there's a couple hundred dudes that bull rush the fence, and they start jumping the fence because it was sold out. And at that moment, Rush was one of the biggest bands in the world at that moment. Tom Sawyer was like everywhere. That Moving Pictures album, YYZ, everything was just so good. Witch Hunt, you name it. That album was that album's a masterpiece. Okay, it's funny because that's what they're carrying in front of it, right? They're carrying portraits, masterpieces, and that album is a masterpiece. So Rush was, I mean, right up there at that moment. And there was a demand that was sick. And they started throwing tear gas. Which I think about it nowadays. I don't know if they would get even sued for that kind of stuff nowadays because such a soft world. And those of us with tickets, I was one, by the way. I was not rushing the fence or anything like that. No. Not my style. I don't need I was the guy that was more afraid of my dad than the authorities. I was the guy that was more afraid of my dad than the teacher. I was the guy that was more afraid of the assistant principal with the paddle than it was my dad that my dad, I don't know how most of you grew up, right? But if you had a dad or mom that were willing to kick your ass at any moment, and there was no child services or none of that. We didn't have that. You took your ass kicking. You went to your room. You cried. And then you forgot about it the next day. But you took your ass kicking. Okay? Shoes, belts, whatever the hell it was, it came with it. But that kind of upbringing ends up making you think about stupid things when you walk away from your house. And then when you see other kids do it, you're like, no, I'm not doing that. Why, you're afraid to get caught? No, I'm afraid of my dad. right? That nowadays kids can't be afraid of their parents. They can't kick their ass anymore, right? You can't get home and bing bang boom ba boom ba, and you're all beaten up and you're in your room crying and you can't say a damn thing. That your buddies are laughing at you is what's going on. You got your ass kicked, right? That's what it was. You know what I mean? So it's a different world. So I wasn't going to bum rush the fence because I'll find a way to buy the ticket. I'd rather do that than get an ass kicking from my dad. You know what I'm saying? So you kiddies out there, I actually think we had it good. You know what I'm saying? Believe it or not, in the end, I think we had it really good. Now, God, garbage. It's terrible. So that's my story. Tear gas. I put the shirt in my face, walking in, coughing, wheezing, craps in your eyes. Tear gas is not fun. Not fun. Amen, Big O. That's real parenting. That was back in the day. Back in the day. See, but the difference is, back in the day, we were honest enough with ourselves as kids, like we knew we deserved the ass kicking. So we weren't going to, like today, the kid deserves the ass kicking, right? So you get whacked a couple times, and then you go call child services. But yet, you spilled paint in the garage. You screwed up the garage. You banged the car. You did something really bad. You took the car without permission and you crashed it. You deserve a couple of foots in the ass. You know what I'm saying? So that's the difference. That's right. So you kind of knew that you screwed up, so you knew what was coming. You understand? So there was you weren't fighting. You were hoping you weren't going to get it or whatever. You're trying to defend yourself or whatever, but you knew you deserved the ass kicking. That's the difference. That's where it changes nowadays. That the kids deserve the ass kicking. They don't get the ass kicking. But if you gave them the ass kicking, they would think they didn't deserve it. So they call child services on you, that kind of stuff. It's crazy. It's a different world, man. Can't do that stuff anymore. Coaches see what Shanahan assistants like McVay and LaFleur are doing, and many are like, here's the next one. Let me go be a part of that. Hey, man, Bill Walsh had plenty of coaches. Andy Reid had a little run now, and maybe this is what's going on with the Shanahan tree. Hey, the Belichick one is rotten already, right? So stop taking, pieces from that one, because that one doesn't work. You have to say about the logo, don't buy it, only retro logo. Well, that's what I do, but I see a lot of you don't have that discipline. You'll buy the new logo. So, but there's some of you out there that actually like the new logo, which I never understood that one. Big O, what do you think about the Darrell Bevel hire? Revis Island, I would tell you, we have completed the hour, and all you got to do is rewind. Kindly rewind, my friend. I've already addressed all of that there in this hour. So it's about fresh material and new content. We are not going to do lazy radio where we're going to repeat the same thing over and over again for hours. We're not going to do that. Hour number 2 is coming up. Joe Shad is going to join us at 11:30. When we come back, we'll talk a little Miami Dolphins. We'll talk a little NFL, some Miami Heat last night. They lost to the Mavs. We got the Panthers back. I got a bunch of things to talk about. I got a funny crypto story I want to share with you all. I got some music stuff I want to talk about. So we got a bunch of things, man. Sean Stanley, baby, he is mastering this program like he does every single day. And he does a marvelous job as always. We thank all of you out there. If you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line, 855-912-1059. 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. Let's take a very quick break. Hour number 2 is next.
Oh, great. You got a doorbell camera. Now you got a front row seat to your house getting robbed. No. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Get out of my house!
Oh, Mom's jewelry. There goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slowens, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, a free doorbell camera.
Free?
One that'll actually work for you. It's not total security unless it's the Slowens Shield. Call 1-800-ALARM-NATE.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646. When you're ready to purchase a new home loan or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today. 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com. When protecting your family is your priority, there's nothing more important than a roof above the people you love. Call Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411 and ask to speak to Tommy, the owner. They specialize in all kinds of roofs, led by their highly crafted, skilled, and professional roof mechanics. All of their previous customers have an opportunity to enter their bi-weekly drawings to receive free an exterior impact metal door. Please call for more details. That's Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411. Trust Tommy to fortify and protect what's most important to you, your family. The Big O Radio Show is looking for an experienced salesperson in the radio or TV business. The candidate must have at least 5 years of sales experience in the broadcast business over the last 10 years. Please email your phone number and resume to BigORadioShow@yahoo.com. That's BigORadioShow@yahoo.com. Looking for an aggressive person who can help our platform expand into many avenues in our business. Reach out if you are the person that's able to make the difference. Expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
The Big O Radio Show is brought to you by EJDConstruction.com, where you can trust their team of construction experts. American Dream Lending. Go to adreamlending.com. Stop dreaming and start living your best life. Perdermo Cigars. Experience a Perdermo way. Go to PerdermoCigars.com.
The Big O Radio Show originates from the OK Coin Studios. Invest a little time and save big. Just set the recurring buy and pay, zero transaction fee after your first purchase. The Big O Radio Show is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley from the OK Coin Studios. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
It's our number 2, baby, here on the program. Appreciate all of you, as always, for checking in and locking it in here on the show. Remember, you can reach out to us on the Welt and Rayom text line. We'll check that text line out now, 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. Welt and Rayom. If you've got any issues, Antonio Brown, you got issues, you may need Welt and Rayom. If you got hurricane damage, call Welt and Rayom. If you've got flooding in your house, call Welt and Rayom. Before you call anybody to repair anything, you call Welt and Rayom at 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury, property damage. Call Welt and Rayom, 954-966-4646, and tell them that Big O sent you, and I promise you they will take care of you. Great people. Jeff Welt, by the way, is one of, I would say, one of our longest-term listeners. He's been listening to me for like 20 years, been going back and forth with me on Twitter forever. I had no idea he was a lawyer, and he's there in Hollywood and now a proud sponsor. So check it out with Welt and Rayom if you do need a law office. Hey, man, support the folks that support us. Plus, they're great lawyers, too, at the same time. That kind of helps. Now, with Daniel, he's going to take me on a stunt plane. Okay? So, Sean, I think I might take you. Not that you're going to go up with me on the stunt plane, but you can maybe film from the floor. And I'll have like a camera inside the cockpit. You guys can maybe watch me throw up left and right all over the place. So Daniel Rayom he's also a pilot, and he has a stunt plane. And I love flying. I actually, when I was really young, this is, 30-something years ago, 37 years ago, I got a private pilot's license. And I did all my training and everything over at the Opelika Airport, but I never really used it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm looking forward to going out on the plane with Daniel, and Sean will film it. We'll do a little segment of it and all that. We'll have some fun with it. But Welt and Rayom, man, good people, man. And again, our text line 855, our Welt and Rayom text line 855-912-1056. Lenny. Thank you, sir. Lots of love there on the super chat. Thank you, sir. With a moving sticker that says super effective. I like that. Must be talking about Sean, obviously, because he's super effective. I'm ineffective. All you got to do is ask my wife. She will tell you that man is ineffective in every way possible. She'll share that insight with you, by the way.
Hey, O.
Yes, sir.
You forgot it's a Lenny Locksmith, West Palm Beach.
Oh, that's right. I see the lock now. Because, I only see LOC. So it is Lenny Locksmith, West Palm Beach. There you go. Lenny Locksmith. Strong. Damn. Way to go, Lenny. Thank you, sir. Now we know if we ever need a locksmith, we'll call Lenny. Right? Lenny, you got to send us your phone through the Welt and Rayom text line, 855-912-1056. That way, if we ever, Sean, it's possible because Sean probably locks himself out of his car at least once a month. So I think we might use your services there. So Lenny the locksmith might be a guy that we might need to use here at one point or another, especially with Sean around. By the way, the market right now, a little bit of a dip. It's at 43,744 Bitcoin right now. Okay. It hit as low as 43,446, which is not really like this low, but the reason why I mention it right now is because the threshold is right around 44,000. And people are worried that if it goes under 44,000 and it closes under 44,000, that we could start going into a bear market, which I don't believe that, by the way. I'm not a financial advisor, just a guy that loves crypto. I just think people might be a little worried about today because today's the day that supposedly Russia could end up invading Ukraine. I know they said Russia's moving their tanks or moving some of their vehicles away from the border, but some of the reports are they're moving it away to then put it more camouflaged in the woods so they can't be spotted by satellites as easy. So who knows what the hell is going on. So that's the one thing that's got everything on hold right now, because that you never know, man. You start a war, Bitcoin could drop to 10,000. I doubt it. I would love it, but I doubt it very much. But you just never know with craziness like this. Who the hell is going to predict a war? And how it'll affect everything. But we'll see. We'll see what happens if today is the day that that stuff happens. But be locked in on that, okay? And part of our OK Coin Crypto Corner also, I laugh because JP Morgan has now gotten into the metaverse. And, JP Morgan a year ago was like, well, Bitcoin's crap. It's not real. It's not this, that. Now they own tons of Bitcoin. Okay. Now they're getting into the metaverse. It's just so funny. I love these, whether it's the banking industry or some of these financial institutions, or even like a guy like Warren Buffett, who now owns Bitcoin and was dissing Bitcoin and all that stuff. It's hilarious because I think some of these really smart people that have dissed it are kind of dissing it because they don't want you to buy. They want to keep buying at a lower price and force you to buy it at 70 and 80 and 150,000 and 300,000 down the line. They don't want you to get in early and all that. So I think some of it is, what would we call it? Subterfuge or something, you could call it whatever you want to call it, but just crazy how everything changes. I mean, Mr. Wonderful from the Shark, what's his name? Anybody that watches the Shark, you know what I'm talking about. He's kind of bald. He dissed Bitcoin and Ethereum and all that stuff a year and a half ago too. Now he's the biggest bull about it. Now he's all over it. Now he can't get enough of crypto. In fact, his portfolio now continues to grow on the crypto side and less on the stock side. And on stocks, he's also investing in stocks that are companies that are part of crypto mining. Okay. Kevin O'Leary, thank you. Why? Because these people aren't stupid. They're smart. Eventually they figure it out and they say, yeah, no, this is where we're going. And that's where it all changes. And it's just funny to watch people, kind of figure it out. The bulb goes on and Kevin O'Leary goes, oh, wait a minute. Let me get it. And a guy like that with that kind of money, these kind of people can take advantage of these kind of situations. Snoop is heavily into it. A bunch of these, if you notice, and they're smart, whether it's athletes or some of these rappers, some of these musicians, they're getting into it and they have money, man. So they can really take advantage of those situations. So there you go. That's your OK Coin Crypto Corner for today. Let's see. Mark McCormick, why did Tua beat Burrow 29-0 in 2018? Because Burrow had an average O-line and a bad offensive coaching. 2019, Burrow had the best O-line and Joe Brady. Yeah, it happens, man. Everyone needs support, man. Doesn't matter what quarterback you are. Oh, you're nearly to 11,000 subs already. That was pretty quick. Didn't you just hit 10,000? Yes, we hit 10,000 2.5 weeks ago. Yeah, we're averaging somewhere between 800 and 1,000 subs a month right now. And this month is actually at a faster pace than that. So yes, sir, we are. It's Sean and I can't thank you enough. We love all of you out there and you're sharing it. You're hitting that. You got to smash that like button. That is one of the most important things you'll do. Visit our sponsors, obviously. Use our sponsors, because without that, we cannot put this show together every single day. Unless that one guy that complained last week wants to send us a couple $1 million, then, then maybe we won't need to rely on sponsors. I mean, if he wants to do that, I got no problem. Sean, I think, has no problem with it. So send it all in. Drop a couple $1 million. Let's go. No, but seriously, without our sponsors, without you guys watching and sharing and liking and subscribing and all of that, we don't get here. And we won't be able to build what we all need as South Florida sports fans. Because what we have now on this platform, you can't find anywhere in the world for South Florida sports fans. Nowhere. Not on radio or any other digital platform comes even close to what we're doing right now. And I'm really proud of what we're starting to build. We're not even close to being done. Not even close. When we're done, that's when I can exhale and say, all right, now we can okay, here we go. We'll get it going. But thank you. I appreciate it. Let's see. Pat in Asheville says, it's like conservatives and legal marijuana. When they see the dollar signs, they come running. Yeah, I personally don't understand why legalization of marijuana and sports gambling is not available in at least 49 states. Utah. Anyway, Big O, I think Juju would be a good fit for the offense now. He is a number 2. So yeah, that might be it. The question is, what kind of money does a young man want at this point? And he's got a lot of crap in his head at times. He's not mature enough sometimes. And that would be a problem I would have with Juju Smith-Schuster. He needs to grow up a little bit. Like Jalen Waddle, he looks like he is mature beyond his years, man. Just looks like a fantastic young man. Really does. Watch him get in trouble now and just make me look bad. I'm sure he won't. Jesus Garza says, Big O, Omar Kelly mentioned yesterday that Miami can increase their cap space by cutting some players. Do you know what players did he have in mind? I would have to look it up to see what veteran players that. Oh, well, yeah, no, of course. X. You trade X, you're going to open up cap space for sure. That's one of them. You're not going to, I know Byron Jones, some of you are probably saying that, but it's impossible to move that Byron Jones contract. It just is. I don't think you'll be able to move that Byron Jones contract. Plus, he hasn't played that bad. You can keep that contract for another year, and then maybe make a move if you want to, try to improve it. Then you can do that. Let me look at the roster here. I'm pulling up the roster here to see what the. Oh, damn it! I hate when I do this and you hit it and then the wrong roster comes up because the page hasn't set, and it's one of those deals. Well, Devontae Parker, you can open up cap space there, my friend. Albert Wilson, once he's off the books, which I think he's a free agent now, you'll save some money there. Jacoby Brissett, you'll save some money, but you'll use it again for a new quarterback. That's a backup. Trying to think of who else could get cut overall. He thinks Emmanuel Ogbah is going to price himself out of here. And that could happen. You never know. I'm trying to see. There aren't really a ton of them, actually, that you are going to open up a whole, ton of space. There's a bunch of young guys that you have him. I mean, you just signed Baker to a new deal, so it's not that one. But I think X would be one, and Albert Wilson will come off the books, and Brissett will come off the books. And obviously trading X is the one where you're going to open up a lot of cap space too in the same time. Jesse Davis, they don't pay Jesse Davis that much. You open up a little bit there. And Eric Rowe, that's a good one too. And Fagellum. Eric Rowe will open up some space for you also. I think so. Those are a couple. Those are good ones you guys just mentioned. Gonna be fun NASCAR year with the new cars. You will see the best drivers rise to the top. Well, it's not something that we normally talk too much about, but I will tell you this. I've been to Daytona a couple times, and obviously I've gone to Homestead several times. I love going to live racing. It's funny. Racing and golf are the same things for me. I'm not big on watching them on television, but if I can go live, I will watch a race live. Love watching a race live. I mean, the start of a race is goosebumps galore. Okay? When you see the start at Daytona and they come roaring around and that green flag goes, and oh dude, that when they start that race, that's a sight to see. It's fun. And I've seen the Daytona race from inside the circle and outside the circle. And I've been also to Homestead. Never on the well, no, yeah, I did do it once on the outside. I've been inside a lot in the races, mostly inside the circle. I've been there because usually it's media, but I did go as a fan, and I had a suite around turn 1. I remember, and it was fun. I had a great time. And then golf, not really watching it on television. I'll watch it on a Sunday if I know that it's coming down the stretch in the last 2 or 3 holes, and there's a couple of guys battling for it. I can watch the last couple of holes. I can do that. But golf, I have to be live with a cigar. That's my favorite. Walking the course, smoking my cigar, checking out everybody, hitting it all over the place. I like that. That's fun for me. But on television, snooze fest. It cannot keep me up. Sorry. It just doesn't do it for me. Agba will get the franchise tag if a deal can't be reached. Well, it all depends, Shane, on what else they've signed, because that becomes a hard cap number. So if it's, let's say it's a $15-16 million number, it's hard cap. You don't get to play with it and give a signing bonus and lessen the cap hit the first year and break the bonus up over the life of the contract and all that. No. So if you want to maximize the $70 million, you need to sign him to a contract so you can lower that number from 15 to maybe the first year to $5 million or something, and make it even more manageable for you that first year. Now, of course, it loads up the back end and it adds, let's say if it's 15 million, 5 years, that 10 million, 2 million per year broken up on the life of the contract. You understand? So you can get away with it better with a contract, but if you tag, it limits what you can do also. And that's something you don't want to do. Gentlemen, start your engines. At the Indy 500 was chilling. Sound moved through your body. Amen. Amen. I love the start of a race. And when you're there, oh, it is awesome, dude. It's a great feeling. It's fun. On TV, give me another beer. If you're enjoying racing in person, be sure to come up to Watkins Glen. It's very fast course and a total blast. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind. I'll go to any race. Any race. Never been to Watkins Glen. That would be nice. Legendary track. Will be fun. Isn't Watkins Glen the small one? That's it's not like a big oval. It's kind of a smaller oval. Sean, you're a race nut. Isn't Watkins Glen the that short track that's like a fast track? If I'm correct, or am I confusing it with another one? I'm not a racing expert. Okay, I do follow it casually. NASCAR, that is. Indy, I used to follow a lot. Don't even do it anymore. I don't even know anything going on with Indy.
Well, once it became Indian Cart and all that, and I just that kind of like started turning me off, and I stopped really following that. I like NASCAR. NASCAR's fun. They got characters. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was say Watkins Glen, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's more of a road course, but it's a faster road course. Okay. I think you're thinking of Bristol, which is the short.
Bristol, that's the one.
The short one is the one you're talking about. But if I'm not mistaken, I want to say Watkins Glen is a road course.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's see. Yeah, there. Christopher Henry says road course. Race fuel smells great. Big O, I was looking at some of the Tunsil numbers, and it would cost us about $17 million because Houston still has to pay. That's the beauty. They paid his bonus. That's why you want to trade for Tunsil, because they paid the bonus. So the bonus gets accelerated, and they take the cap hit and everything, and all you're paying is salary. So yes, no, I'm with you all the way. That signing bonus that I just talked about that you would break over the life of the contract, that gets sped up to the year that you trade him. So then you end up accelerating all that money and you take a bigger cap hit. Now, this is his third year there, so the cap hit will be a lot less than it would have been last year or the year before, obviously. But still, I don't know if I don't even know where you guys got that from. You threw it out there. I have no idea if there's even any truth to it. Big O, missing Dolphin season till September 2022. I feel the Heat need a closer to win it all player to dig us out of a hole. Maybe Depot will fill that void. Anthony, they're on the top of the conference, my brother. They're fine. They're not even healthy, and they're at the top of the conference. They have yet to really be healthy, and they're at the top of the conference. So if they get Depot, obviously that's going to help. I'm with you. But this team is really, really good. And they have yet to even be able to field the team healthy so far. They're always missing somebody or two. And they've been overcoming and winning all those games. Last night, the offense started to die out a little bit towards the end of the second quarter. But then, sure enough, it disappeared in the second half. It was a frustrating game to watch. And I know my man Ira was joking about it yesterday. Oh, I'll be fighting with about Duncan again. Well, here you go. More fuel for my fire. 2 of 6, 1 of 5 from three-point range, 5 points. Unacceptable, dude. Unacceptable. You want all this money, and you're not playing. You're not earning the money. You got to step up, my brother. You got to put your big boy pants on. You need to do this more often. You need to get back to what they're paying you to do. I think the most impressive thing I saw from Duncan last night, there was a switch where he actually got on somebody and in their way defensively that they had to pass off the ball. And I was like, wow, he did something defensively. That was like my highlight of Duncan Robinson last night. Well, hold on. 2 of 6, 1 of 5 from three-point range? No way. Not good enough, man. Wake the hell up, dude. By the way, they signed Javonte Smart to a 2-way contract also. All right, let's do this. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, Joe Shad joins us for the AmericanDreamLending.com Miami Dolphins report.
Dolphins fans, buckle up. It's time for the American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins report with Joe Shad. When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy. With fast approvals and quick closings. Call them at 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com. Here's Joe Shad with today's edition of the American Dream Lending report.
The legend. Where you at? What key are you at right now?
I'm actually home, Big O. I was able to spend
back home. Okay.
I was able to spend 3 nights and 4 days in Key Largo, beautiful Key Largo. the key to the whole thing, Big O, and it was a little chilly, but the key was I left my cell phone in the safe in the hotel room for almost the entire time. Completely disconnected. It was so powerful and important because all I do is look at my cell phone 24 hours a day.
We all do. Yeah. I mean, get into crypto and you'll be looking at it 25 hours a day. And there's only 24 hours in a day. So, yeah, that's a way to do it. That's all right. So you're refreshed and reloaded. Well, the Dolphins continue to reload their offensive coaching staff. Your thoughts on the latest hire on the offensive side first with Darrell Bevell?
Yeah, Darrell Bevell was a guy who's been around the National Football League. I think it was important for Mike McDaniel to add some coaches with, that are a little longer in the tooth because he's a young guy. And Darrell Bevell has been a interim head coach twice, which, could be helpful. I mean, here's a guy who's been thrust into a situation to be in charge when that wasn't the plan going into the season. So, there are a few guys who, look, McDaniel has been in the National Football League a long time for a young guy. And so he knows a lot of coaches. He's seen a lot of defenses. He's dealt with a lot of different professional athletes. And just in looking at the totality of his staff, some of the names aren't, big names per se, but if you speak to the people who are in those places, like the young BC coach that's coming in for the offensive line, very well respected as an outstanding teacher and a good communicator and a person who's very smart. It certainly seems to me that McDaniel, who has a reputation of being a very smart, intellectual guy, is trying to add a bunch of coaches who bring that as well, the intellectual approach.
I'm with you. Applebaum is the guy that replaces Frank Smith. That's what's happening. That's him playing chess, because Frank is obviously the guy because he's had a lot of success already, and he'll be the main guy. But Applebaum will be learning off of him, right? And then if he loses Smith, Applebaum will be the guy. This is what I talked about with Flo for many months now. A head coach, it's not about building a staff. It's about building multiple staffs, because you're going to constantly lose or fire people, or they're going to get hired somewhere else, or whatever it is. That's business. And so I like the way he's kind of structuring things. And what you mentioned also is so key. He did what Flo wasn't willing to do. Bring in an older coach that has more experience than him. You have a couple of those guys as sounding boards. That's a positive for you as a young coach. It seemed like Flo wanted everybody to be below him pretty much throughout the whole thing. And I like that this guy is open to that. And he's also thinking a little bit ahead.
Yeah, it's not easy to build a staff as a guy who's never been a head coach at any level. And so the fact that a few guys, including Wes Welker, who I know quite well, willing to come over from the 49ers is a positive. You're going to have these receivers and tight ends being taught the same way they were in San Francisco, which should lead to better blocking and more yards after catch. Those are the points of emphasis for the tight ends and receivers this season. I think that Mike McDaniel's offense is going to be creative. It's going to be interesting. And I think there's going to be a sense of responsibility in the blocking game for all 11 players on the field. I remember when I was speaking to Wes Welker at the Super Bowl in Miami, and he was a San Francisco wide receiver, as a new position coach. And he was telling me about his relationship with Deebo Samuel. And he was telling me about how he told Deebo that they were going to run together every morning at 6 a.m. until he got into better shape. And sure enough, they ran and ran and ran. And of course, Deebo became a Pro Bowl level receiver. But the thing that Welker also told me that day at Hard Rock Stadium, ironically enough, is that he told all of his players, if I don't see you giving full effort in the area of blocking, you are not going to be on the field. You are not going to play in this offense.
Right. Yeah.
This just occurred to me. This is very random. The Dolphins obviously need to add a few receivers, including a fast guy to replace Will Fuller, so they can run those post routes that they like to run off play action after you get the run game going. It's obviously going to be a run-based offense. But here's a sleeper for you. Preston Williams, who has done nothing, admittedly, since his rookie season, he is a sneaky, outstanding blocking receiver. Just something that popped in my head. Maybe Preston gets a little bit of new life. I'm not saying for sure, but just something to think about. Maybe with a fresh start, a new position coach, maybe.
Yeah, but his new position coach has nothing to do with drop balls and injuries. And that's what he is. He's a sack of injuries and he's a sack of drop balls. And so
Yeah.
I don't know how you change that part of the game and blocking. So now we're going to put him in positions where he has more contact. A guy that's often injured. Yeah, I kind of, I'm not. He's as flimsy as Dogecoin. And,
I'm not saying that Preston Williams is going to be a key part of the Dolphins 22 offense. In the same way, we don't know if Lynn Bowden will be a key part of the Dolphins 22 offense.
But I have more hope for Lynn Bowden is what
Right.
I'm. Yeah, at least I have hope for Lynn Bowden. I have no hope. I've lost hope completely.
I understand. I just say a little sneaky.
And he will get. He will. You did nail it, by the way. He will get the fresh start here.
Yeah,
because the new coach will just like say, "Hey, look, man, everything that happens done. Here, you want to earn your spot. Here you go." And he'll have this whole offseason to try to earn it. I'm sure.
A little sneaky kind of back of the wide receiver room. Hey, what if they can find a niche for him? What if he can kind of rediscover himself? I'm not saying it's going to happen. It's just something that popped into my mind.
I love your idea. No, dude, you're on target.
Yeah.
Talent-wise, you're 1,000% right that he could be a force for you in the last offense and in this upcoming offense. But the question is, kid, when's it going to happen? When is your body going to hold up, and when are you going to stop dropping passes?
Now, maybe Lynn Bowden can do some of the things that we saw Albert Wilson do in the Adam Gase offense that one year where Albert and Jakeem were very exciting with the jet sweeps and the reverses and the screens.
I agree.
You're going to see more screens. So, this is a compelling spring and summer. Usually it's sort of, boring and mundane, but, I like what McDaniel is saying about Tua. I like that he has come out, Big O. I know you saw this quote. He said that players have scars and his job is to basically build up their confidence. Love that. Love that.
Of course. That's the job. By the way, the offensive line coach has got an enormous job of doing that because those guys are beaten down. They're not that bad. But when you fail and fail and fail and fail and fail, it's only human nature that you've lost some confidence in your
I'm told that those guys' confidence was damaged by the previous staff. I'm told that their confidence was damaged. Now, would you like to see, Big O, in the spring? You might have an alternate plan, but still, would you like to see Austin Jackson get some offensive tackle reps again to see if he can maybe do it?
Well, I was talking about this with Omar yesterday.
Oh, okay.
He fits perfectly in this scheme. He's athletic enough actually to play in this scheme. So he might, and in a zone scheme, he might actually excel more than being put out in a one-on-one situation because you're gonna have moving lines and they're going to be in sync together, and they're kind of like walls that move together at times in tandems and stuff. And so he's not going to be alone in those tandems, and I think that may end up helping him out a little bit. But again, it's Joe, you nailed it. It's all about the coach having to rebuild the confidence of all these guys and find it back again and show them on tape, hey, you see what you did here at USC? We're going to get you to do that here. Look, you've got it in you. You just weren't, and you weren't taught the right way. And all those. I will
say this: I don't want that to be the primary plan. There needs to be a veteran, capable, free agent NFL tackle sign, at least one, preferably two. Okay, that way, if Austin Jackson ends up at guard, perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. So, what I'm saying is I'm intrigued. It's going to be some new plays, some new wrinkles, some new enthusiasm. Listen, I watched the Super Bowl in Key Largo. It was really nice. We had a nice little setup, and it was just very relaxed, and they were bringing us, you would have loved it, chicken wings and some rum drinks. It was very nice. They go.
Nice.
Well, But after the game, I was listening to the Rams players, including that veteran offensive tackle Whitworth, and he was saying,
former Bengal, by the way, former Bengal.
He says a lot of coaches scream and yell. He goes, what this staff, including Coach McVay, are all about is about positivity and positive energy and building confidence and having fun. He actually said that football can be fun. And I know that we always go from, discipline, strict, tough, and all that to players coach. But I'm kind of looking forward to this, fun. You're allowed to have fun. You're allowed to smile. You're allowed to talk about your teammate. The Patriots have these rules where you're not allowed to compliment your teammate on the record. You get called out by your coaches for saying flattering things about your teammates. And coaches say that they don't celebrate the players. They say that publicly. All right. So let's dump all that. Let's put it in a box, put it in the dirt, bury it in the backyard. All that negative stuff. Let's no more Patriots way bull crap. All right. Let's have some positive energy, some smiles. Football can be fun. Pete Carroll has won plenty of games, okay, without being some crazy.
Yeah, he was a fun guy. You're right. You're right about that.
All right. Andy Reid is not, to my knowledge, a big jerk.
You're right about that again.
Right.
Yes.
So you can win without being a jerk. Sean McVay has shown it.
Let me tell you why I agree with you 1,000% on all of that. And do you have kids? You have how many? You have one or two?
One child, yeah.
One child. How old is she right now?
9-year-old daughter.
Okay, so she's 9, not yet, but it'll get there a little bit more. But they're different now, and people are wired differently nowadays. Kids are wired differently. The last 2 generations are wired differently. We grew up with a belt and a shoe, and whatever it was is discipline. You can't do those things nowadays. You can't scold kids anymore nowadays. A teacher in class, back in my day, I would hear teachers say, you'll never amount to anything. You this, that, what. You could never say that nowadays in a classroom because they'll expose you to all of that. The way you communicate with young people in today's world is that way. They do not handle tough love. That's a different generation, and very few kids can handle tough love. They have to grow up in that environment in their families and have to understand it.
Now, let me ask you this. Under Adam Gase, the Dolphins were one of the most penalized teams in the NFL on an annual basis. Under Brian Flores, the Dolphins were one of the least penalized teams. We got to give him credit and his staff credit for it. Now, do you believe that has more to do with the amount of time they spent teaching the techniques that are unlikely and likely to draw penalties, or the overall tone of discipline and structure and
teaching? That's how they respond.
I'm hoping
communication, bro.
I'm hoping that the Dolphins can still be on the lower side of penalties. You know what I mean? With flow being gone. I hope there's not a direct and only direct correlation between discipline and firmness and seriousness and penalties.
Well, it doesn't look like Zach Taylor or Sean McVay are those kind of coaches.
I have to look up where those teams ranked in penalties. Obviously, you don't have to be among the league's best in fewest penalties to win. But it is an important.
By the way, where were the Dolphins ranked this year? Didn't they drop this year from the first 2 years?
Good. Yeah, they weren't as good.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought this year the penalty stuff I think they were middle of the pack, in other words.
Yeah, after being in the top 5 in the previous 2 years. But a lot of it had to do with the offensive line was a mess. False start, hold, right? False start, hold.
Confidence, poor teaching. Yeah. All those things just made,
I feel bad. I feel bad for Lem Jean-Pierre, okay? Nice guy, put in a spot he never should have been put in. In a spot, it was a mistake. And this is not me talking. This is information that any of us could get, all right, about the offensive line and how they felt at a loss.
Of course.
They didn't have a guy that had the answers. Yeah, no, it's totally understandable. And you're right. It's not Pepe Le Pew's fault. I mean, it is what it is. It's like the whole Ted Ginn thing. Ted Ginn went on to have a really solid career, dude. He should be very proud of the career he had in the NFL. Now, it's not his fault he was picked number 9 in the draft. It's not his fault that then comes the expectations of number 9 when he wasn't supposed to be picked as the number 9 pick in the draft. And then he gets labeled a bust. And it's not his fault because he really wasn't a bust. He turned out to be a good player in the NFL, just not one that would justify the number 9 pick.
You can say the same thing about Tua and Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle, very good player, clearly going to be a very good player in the National Football League for many years. He will always have to live up to not only the value of the 5th pick, but also that they passed on Kyle Pitts and Jamar Chase. That it's not his fault that the Dolphins passed on Jamar Chase and Kyle Pitts. Has nothing to do with Jalen Waddle.
Doesn't mean
he doesn't part of the conversation.
Yeah, but see, you're already moved on that he's lesser than them, and I have not yet because he was on a lesser offense. If he gets on a better offense, which hopefully this year, if they've got a running game and those linebackers are sucked up, you're going to watch Jalen Waddle have 500 more yards than he had last year with the same amount of catches. And he'll have more touchdowns than he had last year.
Yeah, very good player.
If you have a running game, so that's
very good player. But unfortunately, it's just very clear, very clear, very clear.
I was a Jamar Chase.
The White House always says the president has made clear.
I was a Jamar Chase guy, but
Jamar Chase
he's a stud,
an absolute all-pro, and Justin Herbert, unfortunately for Dolphin fans, a stud, a superstar. And so it might be unfair to Tua that people are always going to say, you're the 5th pick. You went ahead of Justin Herbert. But, that's the bed that the Dolphins made for Tua. Now you're changing the sheet.
I'm not ready to make that bet. You've already, we've already talked about this. You moved on. I think you're going to be proven wrong, and a lot of other people starting next year with Tua and that offense. And all of a sudden, he's going to look like a completely different quarterback when he actually has coaching, and he's going to look a lot more effective.
I think he's going to be better.
Have more explosive
I'd like to be on record on the America Dream Lending Big O segment. I'd like to be on record. I think Tua is going to be better in his 3rd season. I think Mike McDaniel is going to help. I think the new offensive line coach is going to help. I think the new run game coordinator and passing game coordinator, I think he's going to be healthier. I think he's going to have more confidence, and I think he's going to be better. I would be very surprised if Tua Tagovailoa is not a much improved quarterback in 2022.
Yeah, I expect him to make the playoffs with this team.
You recorded that part, right? Did you record that part? Did you record that part?
It's recorded every week. It's there. Okay. It's not going anywhere. You're locked in. Anyway, we have you already on record that you've given up on Tua. So
I never said that. Don't put words
next year when he kicks ass.
I want to tell you something. The
and
people
he
on Twitter,
outplays Herbert.
Big O, the people on Twitter. You read Twitter, right? Big O, they say that I let you push me around, and I think I maybe gotta. I don't know. What do you think on that?
No,
you don't think so?
Why do you listen to that?
Oh, I read all the tweets.
They hear whatever they want to hear a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? Some of them may like you and hate me. Some of them may hate you and like me. And then the opinion is biased.
Sometimes people don't realize, we've known each other for 20 years. 20 years is a long time. So sometimes people who know each other for 20 years speak to each other in a tone that's different than someone you know for 6 months. You know what I mean?
Plus, I'm not doing fluff radio interviews. I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? I'm going to have some fun. We're going to challenge each other. That's why I think there's a reason why we're pacing 25 million downloads this year. Because when you come on, or Omar, or Cam, or Manny Navarro, or Ira Winderman, it's just not going to be a fluff interview. We're going to go back and forth. We're going to challenge each other. We're going to have opinions that are right and wrong, and that's sports talk. And that's kind of the
I think that's perfectly fine. And I think that's why when you were on various other platforms, I was always willing and perfectly happy to join your show.
Thank you. I always appreciated that. And that's why I think we've got a nice big ass family here doing what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully growing in a
in a nice direction here. So it's a lot of fun. All right, so the linebacker coach, what can you tell us about Tyrone McKenzie?
I don't know. I don't know him. I haven't I told you my cell phone was in a safe for 4 days. I have no idea. I read one thing that the team where he came from, that the fans were upset that he left. So that's a good thing. If the fans are like, oh, I can't believe we lost this guy. How do we let this guy go? That is good. Listen, as it relates to outside linebackers, Jerome Baker, does he stay on the outside or does he move to the inside?
He's never been an inside. He's never been an inside backer, Joe.
Right.
Come
on.
We
agree that he should be primarily on the edge. Sometimes you move him inside for a change of pace, a different look. But I thought he was much better when he moved from inside linebacker.
Because he doesn't have the body to play inside. He's not a thumper, dude.
He's not a Landon Roberts. And we'll see if a Landon sticks around. He was a flow guy.
By the way, Rap Sheet had a nice nugget. He said the Dolphins have hired Tyrone McKenzie as their new outside linebackers coach. Source said, a former Patriot player and bright young coach, McKenzie has spent time coaching linebackers with Titans, Lions, and Colts. So Rap had at least a little nice nugget about him being
Darius Leonard,
a bright young,
and Kyle Van Noy, I guess.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Yeah, but he wasn't there with the Lions this year, where he helped a former first-round pick of the Miami Dolphins actually have a half-decent season.
I want to learn some more about Gerald Alexander's departure. I was disappointed. We never know what happens behind the scenes. Obviously.
Flow guy.
What's that?
A flow guy.
Oh, so you believe that Gerald supporting Flo publicly hurt his standing with the organization?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I never know what goes on behind the scenes, but the players really respected this guy. And he is, with us in the media, he was unbelievable at explaining things. And
he's a bright young coach, man. He's
I
one
thought
of those guys that's
was
up
on
and
a
coming.
path to a defensive coordinator job or a college head coach job. And I will say this, sometimes you get a little setback or sidetrack, and that doesn't mean that, you're not going to make it. I thought this guy was going to make it, so I'm rooting for him.
I think he is going to make it. It's just it'll be somewhere else.
Different track.
But when you probably have some comments during the year about Flo, and then maybe you think he's going to survive, and then others hear your comments and they know where you stand, and then all of a sudden when the whole Flo thing breaks, then you're left on an island, and you're like, yeah, that guy's got to go because he's from the other side. And so I can't have somebody that's, from the other side in the middle of a lawsuit, and then I'm here trying to.
But I mean, Boyer is a Flo guy, right? I mean, Boyer.
Well, apparently, yes and no.
Flo gave Boyer his first defensive coordinator job. You know what I mean?
I know. But there were plenty of guys that came in. Even two guys came with Flo from New England, and those two guys were then shipped out. So and there's talk that he was taking stuff from Boyer and giving the responsibility to Alexander and all that. So that became also a rift inside the defensive room too. On top of, I mean, it was a mess, dude. A mess. He had a mess going on with his offensive coordinators. He had a mess going on with his defensive staff. It was,
listen, I have no personal
harmony was not his strength, bro.
I have no personal ill will towards Brian Flores. I hope he's able to get a coaching job, even, college or whatever. If he's blackballed from the NFL, I hope that, I'm not directly comparing him to Colin Kaepernick, but we never saw from Colin Kaepernick again.
That's Colin's fault. I always blame Colin for that.
I hope that this is in a situation where, Flo never gets to coach again. I mean, he certainly deserves a chance to coach again.
But you nailed it. College or somewhere else. It won't be the NFL. They won't hire him again. And as for Colin, just like Tim Tebow, I treat both of them the same way. Dude, neither one of you are better than Warren Moon or Jeff Garcia or Cam Wake or Mark Dixon or Ricky Williams or Doug Flutie or so many others that were told no, rejected, and then had to go to the CFL to build up their careers again, and they did. And Moon went to the Hall of Fame with it. So if Kaepernick thought he was really a quarterback, like Warren Moon did, like Jeff Garcia did, he would have gone to the CFL and prove it, just like Tim Tebow. That's where I always hold it against those guys, because you have an option. Cam Wake was told, Giants said, no, you're not good enough. And then he went to go freeze his ass in the CFL, and then he came back here, and he'll be in the Ring of Honor one day for the Miami.
I wish Tebow had played in the CFL. I would have liked to have seen that.
Right. It would have been fun to see both of those guys go to the NFL, because if Cap goes to the CFL and kicks ass, it becomes a problem here in the NFL. Half the league, half the fan bases are going to go crazy going, Cap's kicking ass over there. You better bring him here. We need a quarterback, because half the league needs a quarterback. Cap could have created his own hell by just going to the CFL and ball out, if he could have, and he would have been able to do it. But it is what it is. How psyched should Dolphin fans be about next season? Because I feel really good now about this coaching staff. I love what I'm seeing on the offensive side.
Yeah, I think there's, anytime you have a fresh slate of coaches, there's cause for optimism and enthusiasm. I just like the positive energy that this guy is bringing. I think we're gonna have some fun, and I think the players will maybe loosen up a little bit with us in the media. There was always this fear of one guy says one thing and it's like blown into this huge deal. And I think we're going to be able to move away from that and just sort of get back to normal human relations. Yeah,
no, I'm with you there. I'm psyched about it. There's a method to the madness, isn't there? That's what it seems like, how he's structuring this whole thing, right? It seems like it.
Yeah, like I think McDaniel is hiring guys who he believes are good teachers, good communicators, and smart people. And, it doesn't matter if it's high school, college, or the NFL, that's what matters. Can you get your message across? Can you develop a trust with your players? And can you teach them the right techniques? And, I'm looking forward to learning more about this coaching staff.
I'm with you, bro. I'm looking forward to reading your writing, and Hal also, who does an excellent job helping you out covering the Miami Dolphins. Follow him on Twitter at Shad Joe, and catch his work there at the Palm Beach Post. Better yet, do what I do. Subscribe and support. Not only do we support him by giving extra work here with us, but we also subscribe to the Palm Beach Post, baby. Joe, thank you, my brother. We'll catch you on Friday.
Thanks, Big O. See you, bud.
You got it. There you go. The great Joe Shad, well rested in the Keys. I love the Keys. All right, that's Joe Shad.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee, and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today. 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com.
All righty. It's a beautiful thing, isn't it? There we go. Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises. When the roof is on fire. If it does burn, you got to then call Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com and get that roof fixed. All right. AAA plus rating from the Better Business Bureau. 25 years he has been taking care of the folks here in South Florida. I love Tommy. Great family man. Great supporter of our show. And by the way, they specialize in all kinds of roofs, so make sure you call them. Highly crafted, skilled, and professional roof mechanics. Folks, call them. I'm telling you, they will take care of you. 954-735-9826. That's 954-735-9826. Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com. They will take care of you. I promise you. All right. Good people. The Keys. Wow. It's been a minute since I've been there, back in 85 and 86. Damn, DM, do you live in South Florida and you haven't been to the Keys since 85 or 86 for real? Damn, you've been working a lot or you're traveling in other parts of the world. But God, how can you stay away from the Keys that long? I just, sometimes I go with my wife. We just go down to the Isla Mirada Fish Company I think that's what it's called. The one where the Sharks are at. And we go there maybe once every month and a half or two. Go out, go right before the sun sets. Go have a nice dinner, watch the sunset, relax a little bit, enjoy. I love the Keys, man. Love the Keys. It's a shame it'll disappear in a couple of decades, but man, and enjoy it because our kids won't be able to enjoy the Keys when they get old. Like my daughter, she's 20. When she's my age, the Keys won't exist. That's scary, dude. So enjoy the Keys while you can, while they're still here. Oh, DM says, I live in Gainesville. Oh, okay. Well, I get it. You're just chilling out with the Gainesville green, relaxing. I got you. It's all good. It's all good. That now it's understandable why you haven't been to the Keys. Okay. Anybody who lives in South Florida, there's no way. You can't go 25 years without going to the Keys. Actually 85, 86, 35 or 36 years without the Keys. Yeah, you couldn't do that in South Florida. Can't do that. Tua doubters don't understand football. It's okay, though. We teach them. Just need to use small words. Big D says they'll all be jumping on the Tua train next season. Amen to that. Amen to that. I'm going to be laughing my ass off watching all these folks jump on the Tua train. Ty says, do we believe now that after 2 years Tua is finally healthy? I think so. I think he'll be as healthy as he can possibly be from the hip this year. Yes, there's no doubt. Obviously last year, he was probably pretty close, but now he'll have that second offseason to really rehab and strengthen and everything else. And I think flexibility and all that kind of stuff, I think all takes into shape now into this offseason. But more than anything else, okay, that has nothing to do with his I'll go 5% with his play. 95% of his play was affected by the coaching and by the fact that you could not block and you could not run the ball. You block, you run the ball, and you coach, and this team is going to go places. I promise you that. That's how they're going to get the edge, okay? You don't only get the edge by hitting the link, by the way, right below, and buying some Edge energy drink. But Tua will get the edge because he's going to have a running game, because he's going to have an offensive line, because he's going to have a real coaching staff that will coach him up as a quarterback, that will coach him up as a coordinator, that this is what he needs. This is what he was lacking more than anything else. You want the edge? That's the edge that the Miami Dolphins needed. They had no edge in the coaching department. That's their problem. And the drink goes perfect with what I'm trying to talk about. It's all about an edge. Everything in life is about an edge. And the Dolphins had no edge on the offensive side of the ball. Now they've got a guy that actually is pretty damn smart. A guy that Kyle Shanahan said, here you go, kid. You've been with me 15 years. You've graduated. You're the play caller. So this is a really smart guy, and the way he has put everything together, he brings in a Darrell Bevell because that gives him an edge with the education that Bevell's going to give him. It gives him an edge because Darrell Bevell's a damn good quarterbacks coach. And then he's a run guy. Sure. So he's going to coach up linemen. He's going to coach up the running game, but he brings an Applebaum in and then a Frank Smith who has had a ton of success as a guy that develops lines and tight ends. There is a method behind the madness going on. This isn't an experiment where, hey, let's get three guys. Let's get the three stooges, and they'll discuss the play every 40 seconds and then pass it on to Tua. No. Everybody's got the role, and that's it. And everybody knows what they're supposed to do. So the edge that the Dolphins did not have on offense last year is now going to be in place.
Thanks to John, who has loaded up the Dolphins with the edge, and thanks to Mike McDaniel, who, of course, is going to give them the edge. And by the way, if you want the best energy drink on the planet, right there below, the link is there. It's delicious. I'm telling you, zero aftertaste. So smooth. It's smoother than Halle Berry's butt. And that's smooth. So get yourself some edge. Maybe you'll feel like the Dolphins right now. Let's see. What else do we have here? Jose Lucas says, Mac Jones and Jalen Hurts, Tua's backups, go to the playoffs before Tua. You really believe it was Tua's fault? And Landon Roberts told Tua on the sidelines it's coaching. I guess you must be talking to somebody else, but it's just the way people are, bro. You know? It's like if you can't see what's going on around that team. Looking for moving goalposts when Tua gets to the playoffs. That's what it'll be due to the surrounding cast and not him. LOL. Right. Exactly. Yeah. That's what because they'll be so wrong that they'll have to try to, hand it off to somebody else. And no, it's not him. He got there because of this, this, and this. Yeah. No, you're right. You're 1,000% right. Heat Fins, thank you for the love on the super chat. He says, I know you could care less, but the real question is, can we finally keep up with the Bills offensively and defensively? Well, I don't think you're going to close that gap in this offseason, but you can at least get a hell of a lot closer if you do have an offense. I mean, maybe you can in one offseason, but you got to see it. You know what I'm saying? But at least if you fix the offense, you're going to have a shot, man. You're going to have a shot. Because now you're going to have a guy that can actually game plan against different offenses throughout. And to me, that's the important part about all of this. Remember, if you want to get in on the Welton Rayom text line, 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056 if you want to get in on the Welton Rayom text lines. Let me check the Welton Rayom text line. Let's see what's the latest here. What do you guys have for me here on the latest? RVA Richmond says, Big O, ask Sean, is Cody Rhodes going back to WWE? You guys need a 30-minute pro wrestling. Yes, excited on coaching hires. Sean, would you like to answer? Is Cody Rhodes going back to WWE? Maybe we should corner Sean and start making him do at least a half hour wrestling show here on the show, like one day a week where the show ends. Like when I stop, he continues for a half hour of wrestling talk. I think that might be, Sean, we got people starting to talk about this. I don't know, dude. You're the expert.
Yeah, no, I would not mind it at all.
Sounds to me like something. Sounds like an element you need to add to the show, bro.
Yeah, no, I even somebody tweeted at me yesterday with Dougley because I guess he's a wrestling fan. So
okay,
already.
Oh, that's right. I saw that.
Yeah,
that's right. I saw that. Right.
Yeah, so we're going to try to see what we can do there with that. But with the Cody Rhodes situation, there's a lot involved. I can see him going back for the money if he's going back for a big grab. But again, the whole thing with character development and everything is in wrestling. You never say never, but I could see him coming back to AEW as well, just to go along with the whole character, because all the fans were tired of Cody Rhodes and wanted him out. So this would be a big kind of middle finger to the fans as well with a character development ploy. And they can go either way on this. Yeah, I was trying to find the other one. I just couldn't find it. So it's one more, two more, three more. No,
I don't know. I've hit all of them, bro.
No. There should be a red one. It says Big O 2-person.
Big O 2-person?
Yep.
I don't know which one it is.
Here we go.
I don't know. This is the one from the poker room. Look at all these billboards that Sean creates.
There it is. Right up now.
Oh,
there we go.
All right, there we go. There we go. Live from the OK Coin Studios.
We can take that off so they can see, hit the subscribe and like.
Right. Subscribe and like.
Daily, so
it's a beautiful thing. All right. So there you go. You got your answer with Cody Rhodes. And you know what? Me and Sean will talk about it on the plane tonight because we're flying out to New York. And by the way, Slomans, thank you. We're flying first class, baby.
yeah.
First class.
And also, I put on the chat, but follow me at Sean_Standing11, and of course, follow Big O Show, which most of you already are. Live. We'll do some live stuff as the tour of New York City and Slomans goes. We will be jumping on social media and doing some live stuff as well.
Yeah. We'll tweet out over being in the. We'll tweet out pictures of us in the plane and everything. And obviously, we'll have our cameras ready because you never know if a Ken or Karen appears on the plane. You know what I'm saying? All right. So if we have to tackle somebody on the plane, how are we going to do it, Sean? Because you're the former wrestling guy.
Oh, so I'm just straight up hitting somebody.
Okay. All right. So then I'm just going to follow you and then slam them after. Okay.
Oh, forehead to chest.
That's it. Okay. Yep. All right. So if there's a Ken, we're not going to do that to a Karen. But if there's a Ken on the plane, Sean and I are going to be part of the people who are going to take care of that Ken. I just want you to know that, okay? We will part ways from our first class seats.
I don't know about that. I do kind of I kind of like the first class seating. I'm not going back to the back.
We're not going to the back now.
No. This is my Look, Big O. I know you're Big O.
We're not going to coach now that we're in the front, right?
You fly first class all the time. This is my first.
No, I never do,
right? Actually, this is my first taste. Don't mess it up.
I think the last time I was first class was when I flew to Europe with my old man, and I was like 18.
Oh.
I never go first class ever. I mean, I don't live that life. So we thank the folks at Slomans Home Security. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Get that free doorbell camera. Senior Experience QBOC Guru Tua needs. Some guy sent me, I guess he's sending me a link. Yes, Darryl Bevel. Yes, we've talked about it, my man. It's their first hour. There's a ton of talk on that. Big O, how do you think that McDaniel's staff is going to collaborate together with the front office and Stephen Ross? That was an issue with Brian Flores. Have you purchased any NFTs before? I have one NFT. I've never purchased an NFT. I got one from Star Atlas. Oh, no, I lied. I have 3 NFTs. But the other 2 NFTs are Big O Show at Bitcoin.com and Big O Radio Show at Bitcoin.com. Because you can buy now the .com names on the blockchain. And Sean right now, by the way, is trying to figure out how to get our show on the blockchain. Actually, he's working on a lot of things. Unfortunately, the man is all over the place. Yes, Sean.
Closer, by the way, we're getting closer.
Oh, we are? Good.
Yes,
good.
Yes.
So for you blockchain folks, Theta. I own Theta. I believe in Theta. So anyway, we're trying to get the show on Theta. So we'll be on YouTube. We'll be on Theta. By the way, did you guys see that YouTube now is trying to get into Web3? So they want to start, because they know what's coming, because Theta is them, but on the blockchain. And so they're trying to be the YouTube of the blockchain, Theta. And YouTube, all these companies, if they don't get into Web3 and the metaverse and all that, they're going to get screwed big time. So we're trying to get our show also on the blockchain with Theta. So we shall see. So we'll give you the heads up when it happens, and then you can actually go watch us through Theta also. So that'll be actually really, really cool. Let's see, what else do we have here? Lenny the Locksmith. Oh, okay. Lenny, I got you there. I will reach out to you, my brother. Good stuff. Jim Short here as a first-time text. Big O, you immediately reminded me of that 70s show as read as Dad's stating, "My foot in your ass." Funny, yes. But that's who we grew up with. I grew up with the Reds of the world, man. Rob from Jersey Shore says, Big O, with all the upgrades in the coaching staff, with the focus on the O-line coaching, how do you feel about going to the season with Austin Jackson starting? First of all, my brother, Rob, let's not assume that Austin Jackson is starting at all. We haven't even started the offseason. We haven't seen who they have acquired, traded for, or drafted. So let's wait till we find out who's been signed to bring in competition, and let's see how they view him. And I think they're going to give him an opportunity, obviously, like all those guys that have been drafted, but he's got to have a vision already of what he thinks some of those guys are or they're not. You know what I'm saying? So let's not react yet until we actually know what's going on. Let's not say, oh, I'm disgusted that he's starting at left tackle when maybe he becomes a good player. And it's right guard, it's left tackle, it's whatever. I don't know. I have no idea. So let's wait to see what happens with all of the linemen and where they go and how they end up and how they play under this leadership. And then we can make a determination. But let's hold off a little bit on that. Remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Let's see. Big O, love your show. Tua is 12-8 with the worst rated O-line in football. Six worst in wide receiver drops. No running game like so many highly drafted QBs. He was set up to fail. Kid's going to work hard and he'll be even better in 22. Go Fins. Thank you, my brother. You and I are on the same page there. Okay, I think this came in yesterday. Great show. Your commentary always on point. Kathy Holly. Thank you, Kathy. Appreciate you listening and chiming in on the Welton Rayom text line. One guy says, damn, you're the only person I've ever heard reference 6 minutes. Dougie Fresh, you're on. I did that yesterday. In maybe several decades, not to date myself too much, I thought I was the only one left that remembered that classic. Nice. How could you forget that classic? That's what I would say. If you lived it, you can't forget, Dougie Fresh. You just can't. Impossible. What else do we have here? A bunch of thank yous. Thank you. I appreciate all of you out there, as always. Jim and Ocala, thank you. So a bunch of you out there on the Welton Rayom text line, thank you. As always, remember, whenever you're listening to the podcast, day, nights, weekends, holidays, whatever, it triggers something, send it in. I always read it. I may not respond to every one of them. I might read them on the air. I might text you back, all that stuff, but I do check them out. As always, it's a lot of people that are sending in texts, and we really, really appreciate it. AEW. What, did I say A&W or something? Did I call it a rupee or something?
No, pro wrestling, AEW.
I know, but why do he keeps putting AEW? I feel like he's correcting me.
No, I think he's doing.
I'm wondering, did I say A&W? That's all. I'm just wondering. Did I screw it up?
Get you into the pro wrestling culture. They chant it out. AEW. AEW. I believe that's what it's about, but I may be wrong. But AEW fans, there's a subculture of wrestling. Either you're WWE or you're AEW. Apparently, you can't be both. Although I am,
really?
But apparently, if you're talking to somebody, if you're AEW, you can't be WWE, and if you're WWE, you can't be AEW because you're just dumb if you are.
Yeah, but I can't blame that gentleman because I'm a goofball. I'm I would say A&W. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's true. I forgot who I was talking
to.
Food.
I mean, I'm a big guy. I'm always thinking food. Like I told you guys, that's what we do. Those are our landmarks.
Chia.
And that too. Let's see. My dad was Red Foreman and a World War II Marine veteran. You bet your ass we behaved or suffered the consequences. Yeah, that's it. What about a half hour of music? We could talk about Queensryche and Rush. I talk about music all the time. By the way, I do have some stuff. Nita Strauss. Let me tell you guys something. If you want to watch one of the most impressive guitarists out there, and she happens to be a beautiful woman,
Her name is Nita Strauss. And I just went to Respectable Street Cafe a couple of weeks ago, or maybe it was already 2 months ago, to go see the Ocean Blue. Had a great time. Nita is coming February 24th, so she'll be here in 8 days. Okay, so next Thursday, in other words. She's going to be out in Respectable Street. I think I'm going to go up and travel up to go see Nita. She's fantastic, man. She's really, really talented. So if you get an opportunity, go check it out. Nita Strauss at Respectable Street Cafe. And props to Respectable Street Cafe. I like the place. I thought it was actually a really cool little place. And that's why I liked it so much that I said to myself, whenever there's a band that I want to see or an artist, I'm definitely coming up here because it's a small place, man. It's just so personable, really, really cool. I loved Respectable Street Cafe. So nice job by you all out there. I really like that place. Today on this date, on February 16th, in 72, Led Zeppelin made their live Australian debut when they kicked off a 6-date tour in Perth. Fans were pretty excited to see the band. In fact, police had a battle with 500 of them who rammed the locked gates trying to get into the show, Rush style. When the band played, 4,000 fans stood outside the venue just trying to hear the group. That does suck when you can't get into a show and you go to it trying to get some tickets and all that. It sucks, dude. Last time that happened to me was the Psychedelic Furs, and it was about maybe 2 years ago. It was at the Culture Room, and it was sold out. And I said, you know what? I'm going to drive up there anyway. Somebody will have a ticket. And dude, nobody had a ticket. And I mean, listen, I've seen Psychedelic Furs, 12, 20 times. I don't know, a bunch of times. I love them. So I was disappointed I couldn't see them. I'll see them the next time, but that does suck when you go to a show without a ticket and you're trying to buy a ticket. Sometimes you'll get lucky. We didn't have tickets. We went to the U2 Joshua Tree tour at the Orange Bowl. The next night they were in Tampa in the Sombrero. So we had such a great night that night. We said, dude, let's go up to Tampa. Even if we don't have tickets, we'll buy tickets. Luckiest day of my life. We park in the Sombrero. The car that parks next to us, as we're getting out, they're getting out and going, hey, you guys need tickets? Yeah, we need a couple tickets. Well, we've got 2 floor tickets. That was awesome. Right there. I didn't have to scalp, didn't have to do anything. The guy didn't even, he gave it to us face. Said, just give me face. Hell yeah, here we go. Boom, let's go. I think it was $100 in. That was awesome. So I have my good stories and I have my bad stories. Although that one, it's a lot different to go to Fort Lauderdale from West Kendall and be disappointed and can't go in for a concert. But if you drive from Miami to Tampa, holy moly, you need to come through, bro. And I got lucky. So there you go. Bob Dylan on this date in 74 started a 4-week run at number 1 on the album chart with Planet Waves, his first number 1 in America. In 74 on this date, Emerson, Lake, and Palmer were arrested while on tour in Salt Lake City. The guys decided to go for a swim in their hotel pool naked. They were each fined $75 too. You want to go naked with your buddies? No. I did the naked thing once. I went with this girl. We were in Hialeah High, and it was one of those deals, it was kind of getting a little dark. And Amelia Earhart Park didn't exist in those days. It was just like a piece of property with some trees and a lake. And there used to be a rope there. So anybody that used to go back in the 80s, you know what I'm talking about? We would go back to that lake and swing and all that stuff. So we went back to that property. And obviously, you know how it is. Whether you're at the perimeter in the airport or wherever, you look for a spot to go make out, right? All that stuff.
So we were making out, all that stuff, and you kind of get a little hot and heavy. And so we say, hey, let's go for a swim. So that was my naked swim. But I did it with, a girl, which is I don't know if I really want to go naked swimming with my boys. Nah, that's just not going to be interesting. So I will pass on that one. I would not have gotten fined and arrested. I would have been laughing at them for getting fined and arrested. In 2005, on this date, Three Doors Down topped the charts with their third album, 17 Days. And in 2005, Kid Rock was arrested for allegedly punching a DJ at a Nashville strip club. Police were called, but the singer got out of the club before they arrived. Later during that eventful night, Rock was pulled over by an officer who got an autograph, but didn't give Rock a breath test. Even though the cop smelled alcohol, that officer was later fired, and police eventually caught up with Kid Rock and booked him. He was taken to night court and released on $3,000 bail. Wow, the cop got also fired, man. The question is, was Harry Henderson in charge of night court? Better yet, what was her name? What was her name? We just lost her too. We just lost her. Oh God, what was her name? Mickey Post? Something like that, right? Was it Mickey Post or somebody help me out there? But fine. I think it's Post. Is it Mickey Post? Marky Post. Thank you, Nyborg. There you go. Hard to remember, you got to remember everything. It's crazy. Brooklyn Rob, thank you for the love on the super chat. He says, but a beer for my boy Sean when you're at Slattery's in Midtown. Hardest working producer deserves a beer. He deserves more than that. All right. He deserves a lot more than that. But we take care of Sean always, man. Sean's my guy, bro. I blessed to be able to build this with him, man. Big O, the Scorpions have a new album coming out in a week. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, they do. And the title song of it was actually pretty cool, man. I like it. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to seeing the Scorpions again. Matthias Jabs is like, what fountain of youth does that guy use, right? Damn, that guy just, he always looks good, man. And he's got to be in his 60s now. And the guy looks phenomenal, bro. Whatever he does, he's doing it. I clearly do opposite of whatever Matthias Jabs is doing, because that guy, damn. Always. 5 decades of Scorpions. Wow. Yes. Yes, you are correct, sir. Bull was amazing. Yes, he was. Bull was awesome. You are correct, my man. You are correct. What else do we have here? Did you guys see Antonio Brown tweeted out that Kanye West wants to buy the Broncos? Did you guys catch that? As you all know, the Bolin family is in the process of selling after the father passed away, and it looks like the family can't really run the team. So it looks like they're going to sell the team, and they're going to look for a new owner. And as you all know, Antonio Brown has no shot at getting a job in the NFL by anybody. He would have never had a job this past 2 years if it wasn't for Tom Brady, right? So now Antonio Brown tweeted out yesterday that Kanye West's sports company wants to buy the Broncos. Can you imagine Kanye West owning an NFL team? How crazy of a situation that would be? I can't imagine that. Forget the music stuff, okay? The guy's a few sandwiches short of a picnic, and that is not both of them. I mean, there's no sanity between the two. Neither one of those guys, both oars are in the water. But AB, of course he wants Kanye to buy the team. That's the only way he'll get on a football team now. So the only way Antonio Brown now wants to get back in the NFL, it's by a rapper and his buddy Kanye West buying the Broncos, so then it would give him a spot on the team. Not only that, he would probably make Antonio Brown also the head coach. Can you imagine Antonio Brown, head coach / wide receiver? That would be a lot of fun. And Kanye West, you know that he would cock block his own GM and start trading players and signing guys and doing all kinds of crazy stuff, right? I mean, you got to admit, it would be entertaining to see what a disaster Kanye West would be owning a team. Like, you see Magic Johnson and you say, okay, there you go. Level-headed dude, pro's pro, all that stuff, a winner. You get a guy that understands sports. Okay, you figure if he buys a team and he has to run it, okay, he could figure out people to get it or run it. Not him. You certainly we already saw him run away from the coaching floor. Like he couldn't. Magic Johnson ran faster than Usain Bolt from coaching. So we all know he can't do that. But at least if he was an owner of the business, like he has with many other businesses, you can count on Magic to put together people to run it. Yeah. Kanye West. Kanye West is going to hire Master P to be his general manager. It would be entertaining as hell. It would drive the NFL crazy. Although I would imagine that if Kanye does like a concert for every game at halftime at home, that would sell out a lot of seats. Because you got people that are dying to see that dude all the time. Kanye West buying the Broncos. That would be funny. Ken Sean says, Big O question. If we know now that Ross sabotaged Flores, January 2019, with new facts coming out hourly, how then can we judge Flo on any year fairly, honestly, and believe in Mike Mack? How did he sabotage Flores? That's the part I don't understand, Ken Sean. I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about. Did he sabotage him by saying, hey, if you lose, we'll give you $100,000 per game. We'll end up with Joe Burrow and you can be a fabulous coach? Or did he do that did he sabotage him because Flo then coached instead of tanking? I'm not exactly sure. Did Ross sabotage him by having Flo hire and fire seven different changes on the offensive line and offensive coordinators? Did he sabotage him because Flo kept Brissett in there thinking he could actually win with Brissett? Did Ross sabotage Flo by playing Jalen Phillips in coverage? Did Ross sabotage Flo by playing Jerome Baker at middle linebacker? Did Ross sabotage Flo because he didn't play Matt Collins enough? Did Ross sabotage Flo because he didn't want to give Duke Johnson the ball anymore in the Titans game after he had 7 rushes for 49 yards? I'm trying to figure out your logic, Ken Sean. How did Ross sabotage Flo? Oh. You know what I need? I need that meme of the fat guy with the frizzy hair and the glasses. You know that meme? You know that one that people use? I need that for Ken Sean. So he sabotaged the coach, but it was the coach that was making all the decisions. Wow. Okay, Ken Sean. Yes, sir.
No, I wanted to go back. We missed a super chat from
we did?
Frankie Fresco.
Oh, we did. I'm sorry, Frankie. Where is it here? Let me see if I still have it. Frankie, yes. Big O, what do you think of the second tournament in the NFL? For example, like in college basketball, March Madness and NIT tournament. Nah, no need for that, bro. No need to risk injuries for players the following season or for your team when you're not winning the Super Bowl. Winning a complimentary type of award doesn't mean anything, bro. No. What we need, Frankie, is an off-season league that can give us some football where some of the practice squad players from the NFL are playing there. And then maybe some street free agents that are trying to find their way and get on there, things like that. That's what we need. It's brutal enough, my brother. They've got to play all these games. Why are you going to play a consolation type of tournament? No, not worth it, bro. But thank you for the super chat. I love the fact that you made the donation and help us grow a little bit, man. Thank you. Thank you. By the way, Ken Sean didn't have a response. He just kind of left it there. Now, I'm not going to block him. He's not rude. Ken Sean's a good dude, bro. I block you if you're an idiot. I block you if you're disrespectful. I block you if you're abusive and you start posting, 20, 30, 40, 50 times the same point over and over again. I block you when you're annoying, not when we disagree, not when maybe I don't think you asked a good question or something, but I'm not going to block you for that. That's not fair, dude. I block you when you're an asshole. Pretty simple. If you're a jerk, you're going to get blocked. That's all. Or also the guy that's like a really smart ass and he wants to come after me and all this, and then he's coming after me for like he has no substance behind it. Then those are the kind of idiots that you can't really reason with them, so you just get rid of them and move on. You know what I'm saying? You got to do what you got to do. Bitcoin, by the way, is at 43,800, so it is staying right under that threshold of 44,000, but you need it to close above 44,000 overall. It would be nice. I haven't heard anything. Have you heard anything about Ukraine or Russia? I haven't heard anything. Any war? Nothing, right? Because today is the 16th. I keep thinking that what we did was kind of, we brought it out so publicly that we put Russia in a corner that they would look so terrible to NATO and everybody else if they would attack. I think it was actually a pretty good ploy by the United States because they made it so public that they kind of embarrassed them into like, we already know what you're doing. Here you go. This is what you're doing. And then, the moron on the other side, no, we're not doing that. We're not. These are exercises and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of like the child psychology they played with Russia on all of this. I got to give them credit on that because I think that's kind of what ended up happening. But I don't know if there's any war going to go on because that's the one thing I do worry about the markets. What are you going to do? I was here with you, Big O, from 560 QAM First Team. I learned half of what is known in the sports media because of Big O. Well, thank you, Ken Sean. I told you Ken Sean's a good dude. He's just wrong about Roston and sabotage Flo. Flo did his own sabotage. He didn't need any help. Listening to Big O from New England. All right. I like it. Tavaga Vest says, what's up, Big O? Well, thank you, sir. Frankie says, in soccer, there are in-between tournaments, and the NBA is thinking about putting a middle-of-the-season tournament. Yeah, that was talked about, but that's not something that's going to happen at all in the NBA. Not going to happen. Players Union won't allow any of that to happen. They won't want that. Let's see what else. Let's not start with the cancel culture. He wasn't a jerk. Exactly, Playmaker. Yeah, no. Ken Sean's a good dude. Leave him alone. Bad question. Guess what? I have him too. We all have them. Los Angeles here, coffee and Big O. Thank you, John. Thank you. Netflix going to make a show about the Dolphins soon. Is that like a joke or what's the deal? Is that real or what? Putin looked bad if tanks got stuck in the mud. Kanye West buying the Broncos changes names to Denver Bath Salts. Yoko Ono becomes minority owner and co-writes fight song with Master P. First verse, Yoko. What? 2, second verse, Master P. Markets love war, as do banksters. My bro, I don't know what to expect, my brother. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I mean, selfishly, there's a part of me that wants Bitcoin to drop a little bit more. I've told you guys this. I don't mind if we have a little bit more of a prolonged thing where it stays at a lower number so I can continue to accumulate Bitcoin. That's what I would like. I don't mind. I don't want it really to shoot up right now to 70, 80, and 100,000 because, that kind of gets in the way of my goal of maybe, trying to own a Bitcoin. That's what I would like to do. So buy me some more time. I would love that. Okay? That's kind of where I'm at. I have time. I'm not worried about it. I'm not here to, oh my God, it's got to bust out next month so I can take it all and cash. I'm not worried about that. Trying to build it up through time because I know where we're going to be 2, 3, 4 years from now with mass adoption, and this is going to absolutely explode. Made Paid says, if Tua doesn't take a leap next year, will you admit it? Don't I always? If he doesn't take the leap, of course. That's all I want. All I want is to put a good team around the kid and give him a chance to succeed. That's all we all want in life, a chance to succeed. That's it. And he was not given a chance to succeed this past season. We will find out this year if Mike McDaniel can get it done. All right, give me 30 seconds. Let me take a really quick break. Back with more right here on the Big O Radio Show.
South Florida's premier law enforcement agency is now hiring individuals like you. The Fort Lauderdale Police Department is now accepting applications for non-certified and certified police officer positions. Minimum requirements and qualifications can be found at flpdjobs.com. That's flpdjobs.com. Are you ready? The city of Fort Lauderdale is an equal opportunity employer.
All right, we are back. And look who is back also. Officer Eric Perez of the Fort Lauderdale Police Department, baby. Yeah.
How's it going?
How you doing, man? You doing good?
I'm doing great. How are you? Thanks for having me back on.
It's always good to have you on, my brother, as you keep the streets safe for us, and we appreciate you and the entire Fort Lauderdale Police Department. And to be fair, we appreciate every officer in this country that protects and serves for all of us here as Americans and keeping us safe. So talk to me a little bit. What'd you think of the Super Bowl, man?
It was exciting. It was really good. I was going for the Bengals, but that's the way the game goes.
Admit it, you were going for the Bengals because then that gives the Jets and the Dolphins, your Jets, my Dolphins. Hell, if the Bengals can win it, we got a shot, right?
Yeah, it gives us hope,
right?
Gives us hope. Yeah, we're always looking for extra hope.
And that Joe Burrow, man, he's that kid's special, man. That kid he's got the goods. The only thing I keep worrying about is they're not taking care of him, dude. And he's not going to have a long career if they don't know. I mean, he already blew out a knee, and you still didn't build a line after him after that. Which he should have come back with that knee repaired to a line that was impeccable.
Right.
Because if you have a guy like that, like what we saw with Andrew Luck, you don't take care of him. And Andrew Luck just said, screw this, dude. I have a brain. I can go make a living somewhere else, not taking a beating with these idiots. And that's kind of what you worry about with Joe Burrow in a way. Not that I'm a Cincinnati fan or it affects me, but I'm a football fan. Yep. So losing Joe, like we lost Andrew Luck, sucks, dude.
Yeah. Longevity is always important. You got to take care of your players, especially at the quarterback position, because one injury can change the trajectory of their whole career. So it's vital for them to make sure that they get somebody there to protect them.
Yeah, man, I'm with you there. Let's see if they're able to figure things out with the Bengals. I just get a feeling that this is Boomer Esiason and Ken Anderson again. That he got his trip, and that's it. And I don't think we'll ever see them again because I think once you get to this pinnacle, people want to get paid.
Right.
And so the Bengals aren't known to paying people. And so I got to see now what happens when you have success and other guys now want to get paid, and that's not what your MO is. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to be another test for the Bills.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It should be interesting to see what's going to play out in the next couple months.
Yeah, I'm with you there. You think Brady really retires?
I don't know. I think he should maybe one more year. Just give it a shot. I mean, it wasn't like he but at the same time, you want to retire on top. You know, he had a great year, so you don't want him to come back and not be as good as he was this year and as good as he was years past, because then everybody's going to remember that final year that wasn't as great as the other years. But yeah, I would like to see him come back. I'm a big fan of his. So
I think he's not going to come back because free agency is about to start. They've got a boatload of free agents. And if there's no Brady, a lot of them are going to leave. And when Brady sees all of them leave, he's going to say, well, then, yeah, I'm definitely not coming back to this because I can't. And that's where I think that as time goes on, he will run out of, the decision will be made for him already because, like, hell, if I'm the Dolphins, I'm signing Ryan Jensen, their center, right away. Right away.
Sense.
I love that guy, and put that guy there in front of Tua. I think that would be a real positive overall when it's all said and done. All right, so talk to us. We know that the FLPD is hiring right now, certified and uncertified. So we know we got some police departments around the country that are not doing their job like you guys are. So talk to us a little bit about the opportunities right now in the Fort Lauderdale Police Department.
Yeah, great point. So we're actually accepting applications right now only for certified officers. If you're an officer somewhere else, not necessarily has to be in the state of Florida, but if you're an officer anywhere, you can apply with us. And those are the people that we're kind of targeting right now is people that, not only locally that might have put themselves through the academy, but, from other states. If you're certified somewhere else, maybe you're just a little tired of the snow, tired of the, of the area that you're working in, whatever the case may be. We're accepting a lot of applications from people out of state. In about a week or two, we should be opening for a non-certified police officer position. And those are individuals that we're going to have to sponsor and send through the police academy. And of course, we give them their full salary while they're in the academy. And we pay for the academy for them. So basically, you're going to school while you're getting paid. But even more exciting is, we're just about to reopen our jail, our booking facility at the police department. So we are looking for detention officers as well. So we're looking for 12 quality individuals to staff in our jail. It's a great way to, get into the department. If you want to transition to patrol later on, you can. And if you don't, you want to stay in the jail in the booking area, you can do that too. There's no pressure to leave and go to patrol. But I know a lot of people that, maybe they don't have the college credits, maybe they have some issues. But it's a good way to get in the door. The agency has a tuition reimbursement program through the city. So if you're employed with the city for one full year, you can take advantage of that, and they'll reimburse you up to 100% of the state tuition cost for your degree. So there's a lot of opportunities, a lot of good, exciting things going on. And if everybody just goes to flpdjobs.com, there's a whole list of required documents and minimum requirements that they can read up on and see if we're a good fit for them. And then, because we all know, just like, football teams, gyms, everything, you might go to one gym and it's one way, and you might go to another one and it's completely different. The weights are the same, the machines are the same, but it's just the vibe and the culture in the area or in the facility. Same thing with police departments. You might go to one police department and be like, I really don't like it. And you might go to another one and be like, man, I feel like a family here. I really want to work here. So, I always give people that option to come and check it out for themselves. And, that way we can make a better, more informed decision and come to a better decision, when the time comes too.
That's pretty cool for those of you out there that might be looking for work, whether it's detention officer or if you're a certified police officer, whether it's locally or somewhere around the country, since we have a lot of people watching the show all around the country, and you're thinking of maybe, hey, I'd like to move to South Florida. It's better environment and a great city here in Fort Lauderdale, man. flpdjobs.com. You can check it out there
FLPDjobs.com. Plus, working for the city, you get all the benefits. So it's a hell of a job, man. You get a good way to take care of yourself and your family, right?
Yeah, it's 77 degrees right now as we speak. So, it's perfect weather. It's been cool at night. Like a little not too hot during the day. It's the best of both worlds. So we're, it's a good time to be in Florida.
It's a beautiful thing. So check it out, FLPDjobs.com. Officer Perez, as always, you're a stud, my brother. I appreciate you taking some time. We'll talk tomorrow. All right.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yep. I'll see you tomorrow.
You got it, my brother. Be
All right,
good.
take it easy.
There you go. Officer Eric Perez joining us from the Fort Lauderdale Police Department, FLPDjobs.com. Detention officers. If you're a certified police officer living outside of the state, or if you're living here in South Florida and you're looking for a job, FLPDjobs.com, man. Check it out there. All right. Let's see. Big O, there's a couple of sponsors up here in Saratoga County who want to bring you up in the summer to do a couple of shows, catch a concert at SPAC, the amphitheater. By the way, Samuel, I saw Sean and I were looking at the guests, at the artists that are coming to that amphitheater. That's a hell of a lineup. They've got a lot of good artists going out there. So, Samuel, just have them sponsors reach out to us on the Welton Rayom text line, 855-912-1056. Any of you out there, if there's any sponsors that want to be a part of our show, and yes, Sean and I will travel anywhere too. You know what I mean? If you're willing to bring us in, we will travel and meet you and represent your product. But you got to reach out to me at 855-912-1056. That's the Welton Rayom text line, and I will definitely get back to you. And I would love to go up to Saratoga County in the summertime and go do a show or two and gamble on the horses and see a concert. Dude, that you're talking about that's a great couple of days. That would be fantastic. That's a great experience. And I love horse racing. Again, being live, that's fun. It's awesome. So more than happy. Thank you, Samuel, for looking out. Any of you out there that want to be a part of our show, 855-912-1056, man. That's the text line. We need Big O and Reason to do another show. Yeah, we can do a show anytime, man. Reason's a good dude. Justin says, thank you for your service. I appreciate you for tuning in and keeping it locked here. Shout out to my bro in the blue and MDPD here in the house. There you go. I like it. Shout out to all of our listeners. So, by the way, unfortunately, you will not be able to visit us at Sloman's because it's kind of a difficult situation. So it's not as easy where I'm at and how to get to it and all that. So unfortunately, I've been told that you can't visit us at Sloman's. Now, how about this? Any of you out there that live in that Long Island area where Sloman's is at, and you want to visit us, okay? When the show is done around 1:00 and Sean and I are done, maybe there's a restaurant bar right next to it, close by, that we can meet right there, right after the show for a couple minutes. We can do that. You know what I mean? Because we got things to do in the evening, but we got a little bit of time that maybe Sean and I can do something like that. We might be able to do something like that. You know what I mean? Sean's got a lot of work after the show, so I've got to also be very careful with all that because I can't get in the way of his work because he's got a ton of work after the show. But maybe something like that maybe not. Maybe even now I'm thinking maybe Sean can't do it. Maybe I have to do it. You know what I mean? Because Sean will be working. But something like that I might be able to do so that way we don't disrupt the situation where we're at in Sloman's and we go outside. So there's a restaurant or bar right by Sloman's. So for those of you that know, that area,
and you want to go by, tell me. And maybe what we'll do is right after the show, we can meet there. How about that? Okay. Let's see. What else do we have here on the show? Have to follow Dudley Durham. Of course you do, Eric. What the hell are you doing? You got to follow him. Oh, if I pass the hat here at the Picola Fairgrounds. Oh, Pensacola. Okay, I see what you're saying. What will it take for you to get Sean to broadcast here in this crazy-ass panhandle? Oh, Lordy. I don't know what the hell it would take. All depends everything on where we're going, sponsor, all that good stuff. Somebody send me some kind of a text here. It says, oh, excited for the future. Fins up. 2021 Miami Dolphins running back. They showed a beautiful golden retriever. 2022 Miami Dolphins running back. They're showing some, I guess it's like a chupacabra or something with some gnarly ass teeth. That would be nice. I can go for that. I'm good. If our running backs are going to look like that, then yeah, we might have a nasty ass running game when it's all said and done. Ron G says, Dudley seems like a really chill dude. I like Reason, but I can only take so much of him at times. Big O, I see Finn's offense going to do great things in 2022. I hope so, my brother. I mean, we're all hoping that they finally turn the corner and get it done. It would be nice. Irving says, I swear I just saw you in a truckers protest, Brett. You were quite rowdy. Alexander says, should have you guys come out during track season in Saratoga Springs, New York. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. Not at all. Wouldn't mind. Big O, Zach got robbed running around after dark in New York. Stay home. Who's Zach? Who got robbed running around? I mean, listen, I'm not the guy I don't know who you're talking about, but I'm not the guy that's going to be in like clubs or doing some crazy ass stuff or anything like that. So me and Sean are chill dudes, bro. Maybe we go to a concert, maybe go to a restaurant, a bar, and go right back to our hotel, and that's it, dude. We're not here to put ourselves in a difficult position or anything like that. So I don't think so. You know, not for nothing, but you've got to be pretty desperate to attack two dudes our size. I'm just saying, not for nothing, but you know, I don't think we're going to look like targets. They're going to look at those two guys and go, yeah, those are two big dudes. I don't know if we want to really mess with those guys. I'm just saying, you know, just saying. I don't think we're going to look very vulnerable is my point. I'm not saying that it can happen to anybody. Something tells me that Sean and I aren't going to look like targets. That's all, you know. Oh, I love McDaniel. He's quirky and reminds me a little of Napoleon Dynamite. Check his pockets for tater tots. Scott from Boston. And the Napoleon Dynamite reference is awesome. I love it. I love it. Oh, what else do we have here? Alexander, New Jersey are bad. I don't know what the hell that is. I guess you guys are talking to yourselves there. All right, what else do I have here on did you see this whole thing with Sean McVay? Like, Sean McVay has not committed to continue to coaching, which is weird. Part of the story that I read was that he also could be thinking of starting a family with his supermodel fiance, Veronica Coleman, I think is how it's pronounced. And this has got to be about money, right? This has got to be about being the highest paid coach in the NFL or one of them right after Belichick or whatever the hell it is. I don't know who's the highest paid now. Right? There's no way Sean McVay would walk away from football at this point, right? I know you won the title. I know you've been to the Super Bowl twice.
But somebody wrote in there like, well, there's nothing else for him to accomplish. Yeah, there is. A second title and a third title. What are you talking about? You don't want, in fact, if you win one, you kind of want to prove that you can win another one, that it wasn't flukish or anything like that. And not that I'm calling that championship flukish by any stretch, but as time goes on, and let's say Cincinnati never makes it again to the Super Bowl, then people say, well, yeah, the Rams got there, but remember, they played against Cincinnati who, got hot in 1 year and never did anything else again and all that stuff. So this has to be all about money, right? This has to be about a new contract from Stan Kroenke. I mean, listen, the guy spent all kinds of money to sign a bunch of these guys. They traded away picks. They mortgaged the future. It paid off. They got their championship, something you normally don't do in football. The guy's been to a championship game now twice in the last few years. That owner just built that stadium that everybody wants to build, a stadium like that now, because that's like the new thing, where it's a whole stadium and a complex all under one roof, And yet maybe McVay and his agent are saying, this guy's got more money than God. He bought the property. He built the stadium. He brought the team over. He paid for all the free agents. He's got more than enough money to give you. You just brought him a title. It's got to be all about the money. There is no way he's really thinking of leaving football at this age after becoming the youngest head coach ever to win a Super Bowl. And I get it. He's got a supermodel fiance. Great. She's smoking hot. She'll be there after every game. She'll be there in every offseason. You can still produce a family while you're still working. Many have done it before you, Sean. So this has to be all about the Monet. Right? Count the money. D-Monet. Big O and Sean, safe travels to you guys. Thank you, Ian. Appreciate you. Look at Sean Payton. He called it quits, but New Orleans is way over the cap, so maybe that's why. Yeah, but Sean's got a lot of years already. You can't compare those two. Sean Payton is an older man already at this point. Plus, like you just said, he had to coach Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill this year. He's like, no, dude, I'm out of here. I'm gone. I mean, seriously. And I got to tell you, Jameis Winston played really good football under him. Like it was 4-1, the touchdown to interception ratio. JP says he also had to pay, $1 billion to St. Louis in the settlement. I get what you're saying, but maybe he's getting burned out. Wow, that young JP to get burned out? That's weak. If he's burned out at this age, then yeah, no, he needs to leave. Yeah, he needs to leave. It's got to be that he wants a new deal and a fat ass check so he can pay for that family with the supermodel fiance. That's what I'm sorry. I have a hard time believing that. Now, let me tell you something. Having a supermodel fiance might want to keep me home too. Okay? I got to admit that. I mean, let's just say you got a supermodel fiance that loves sex. Yeah, I think I might stay home for that too, because that might feel like a Super Bowl win after every trip to the bedroom. Then again, with a supermodel fiance like that, we might be doing it just everywhere, not just the bedroom. So, now I think, when Zimmer got fired, you know what he has at home. We've talked about Mike Zimmer, and for those of you that are new to the show or whatever, look up Mike Zimmer's girlfriend. First of all, you won't believe that that's his girlfriend. And then second of all, you'll say, what the hell is that man coaching for? Stay home with that. Locked up in 4 walls. Don't leave.
Shower, bed, shower, bed, shower, bed. Let's eat some. Shower, bed, shower, bed. Hey, have a drink of water. Shower, bed, shower, bed. That's it. I'm telling you. Big O, Bleacher Report is reporting Carr Raiders likely to get $40 million a year. How crazy is that? No Super Bowl. Well, that's the market. Your franchise quarterbacks are getting 35, 40, $45 million now, man. That's just the way it is. And if you have a franchise quarterback, that's what you have to pay. Yep. So that's just the market, unfortunately. Like when they gave Tannehill 17-20, it seemed crazy at that moment, but that's what the market bears at that time. And all it's done is gone up and up and up. I mean, Kirk Cousins has been getting $35 million guaranteed for the last couple of years, and he's not worth it. But that's what you have to pay if you have a franchise quarterback. It's crazy. I saw that report. Dennis Rodman's famous words, no matter how hot she is, everyone's going to get tired of hitting the same thing and hurt. Well, yes and no, you are correct. But it's still a fun ride, my man. You know, I don't know how many of you are having some fun with a supermodel. I'm just saying. Don't you want the opportunity to get tired of sleeping with a supermodel? Right? What man is going to turn that down? I'd like to know. What man saying, oh, yeah, no, yeah, Salma Hayek. You know, well, why do I want? I'm going to get tired of sleeping with Salma Hayek. Halle Berry, why would I want? Nah, you'll get tired of her. Okay, let me get tired. Let me try to get tired. Okay? All right? Sure, I'll get tired. Let's find out. I think it would be fun getting tired of sleeping with a beautiful woman. Don't you? They also can be maintenance. I'll take my chances. Okay? All right? I'm sorry. Well, how much maintenance is Halle Berry? Whatever it is. Are you willing to do it? I think the line would be from here to kingdom come. I'm just saying. King Sure says, damn Skippy. I will volunteer for all the men to test that theory. Of course, dude. Oh, you'll get tired of her. Let's go. Let's go. That's got to be a great feeling. Oh, you were married? Yeah, I got tired of sleeping with Halle Berry. Tell that to somebody. Tell that to another man. I think the other guy will punch you out, right? Yeah, you know, I just got tired of sleeping with this incredibly hot woman. The hell is wrong with you? You know, that kind of stuff. Oh, God. They can leave you broke. I'm already broke. So what the hell's the difference, Frankie? I mean, who cares, bro? Broke and the experience, or you got a couple of bucks and no experience? You tell me. I can go find the extra bucks. You know what I'm saying? I can make up the money. You know that experience. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Some of you out there, you just like you throw these things out like they're daily things that happen to all of us. You know what I'm saying? And I have a hard time believing that. But long story short, yes, McVay probably has been enjoying, sleeping with his supermodel fiance. And yes, he would probably enjoy making babies with her, of course. And yes, he would enjoy his life and all that. But nothing is going to fill that football void. And at that age, I'm sorry. I can't tell you that he's, to use a sexual term, I'm not going to believe he's blown his load already as a coach. Okay? I believe it's all about a load of money is what this is. And in the end, we're going to hear Sean McVay, new 7, 10, he's going to be thinking of retirement, right? And he's about to sign a 7 or a 10-year contract worth whatever. Okay? That's what's going to end up happening. Mark my words. There's no way that man has had enough of coaching. No way. I can't believe it. You like roomy chicks. They're like mopeds. Free to ride until you get caught by your friends. Scott in Boston. Is it Monsters Ball Hallie or Die Another Day Hallie? Isn't it Hallie anyway? Does it really matter? Is it Hallie and Caesars? What are we talking about? It's Halle Berry. What are we talking about now? We have the Crypto Corner, all the insider specials, exclusives. Can we get a throwback minute of the day or segment scoops and tidbits to when the Dolphins used to win more and were respected? I think I give you guys that all the time. I talk about stories with the Dolphins. If you listen enough, I'll tell you about something that happened in my life or something that happened in the Dolphin beat all the time. I think I do that. Don't I do that all the time, Sean? I think I share stories all the time. You just got to listen, but no, I do that, my man. Poochie 911 Gaming. I do it, my brother. Just got to listen, but I share stuff at times with all of you. Will you take $30 million? Okay, I'm staying. $30 million for 2 years. That's probably what it is. It'll be like $80 million for 7 years. It'll be like 120 for 10. That's what it's going to be. You'll see, dude. It's going to be like this monster-ass contract. There's no way. I'm sorry. I'm not believing it. I can't. Big O, could you give a supermodel a big ow? Damn right. Of course we will. Many. They inspire you all by themselves. Now remember, I'm not really attracted to most supermodels. I got to be honest with you. They're usually way too skinny for me. Got to be honest there, okay? I need curves, bro. I'm Latin. The Latin, look, as I've stereotyped before, and I'll continue to stereotype. Most Latins and most brothers, okay, we need curves. We need meat on the bones. So that I can tell you. I mean, while I'm telling you about, hot women, on the supermodel side, be careful. I don't find a lot of supermodels like super hot. Face-wise, yes, but their bodies, they're like stick poles. They got no meat, no curves. I'm way more into a thick woman than I ever would be a skinny woman. Yes, thick. Like an Ashley Graham, way better than a stick model. Can't do the stick models. I don't find women that are starving attractive. I just don't. I don't find women that I can count their ribs attractive. No. When I see a woman that I got to feed her a burger, yeah, that's not attractive. You know what I mean? So I'd rather have way a thick woman, way more than a skinny woman. And that's just the Latin in me, We can't do anything about it. That's just that's the natural way we are. You know what I'm saying? Respect you. Don't give us inside a lot. I'm just looking for more of it as a fan when the Dolphins used to win, even if it was before my time. Dan Story, Shula, all that. Okay. I will try to weave those in there. Yep. Fatty likes thick. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's a Latin thing. Doesn't matter if you're skinny or fat like me. It doesn't really matter. Edie's Chacon all day, Big O. That's right. That's right. Give me an Edie's Chacon every day. Dolphin Dynasty says, I prefer them thick. I'm with you. Billy Shaw says, not true. I'm in shape and love big girls. See, that's what I'm saying. I know that. That's not true. It's just one of those things. Is she a gold digger? Zimmer 65. Does it really matter at 65? You know what I'm saying? I always love that part, right? Because Mike Zimmer's 65, right? And right now he is riding one of the ultimate rides in any amusement park. And does it really matter if she wants a couple of extra bucks? He's 65. What's he going to do? Take the money with him? No, dude. So if he's got to spend a couple extra bucks to keep the lovely around and have some fun, who cares, bro? God bless him. Mike Zimmer is a winner in my book. Okay? Like a winner by miles. I give him mad props. If I ever see Mike Zimmer, I'm just going to walk up to him and say, Mike, I just got to shake your hand. You're amazing. And then he's going to say, well, thank you. I appreciate that. No. I'm talking about your girlfriend. That is pretty awesome, dude. Nice job by you. That's what he's going to think I'm talking about his coaching, his career. No. Dog, I'm talking about what you're reeling in at 65. Much props to you. Fist pump, buy him a beer. Hell, I'm going to buy him a bottle of something. Like, mad props. Good for him. Hell of a way to die. Exactly. He's 65. He's obviously either not married or divorced. What do you want him to do? What's he going to do? Sit around and have beers and hang out with his buddies and go skinny dipping in the pool? No, you go find a hottie. Go skinny dipping with her. Okay? That's what you do. Now she's into Zimmer because she thinks he looks good in purple. Wow, and she's only 38 years old. Yeah. He is it. Livardo says, wow, Zimmer's girl is smoking. My new idol. Haha. Guy is living the dream. It's funny because every time we bring this up, new people find out about this. And they had no idea that Mike Zimmer was a player, off the field. They're just looking at this old white dude on the sidelines with some glasses on and arguing with Kirk Cousins and all that. And you're like, yeah, whatever. And then you're like, huh? That guy's with that? Wow, much props, dude. It gets you by surprise. D-Hat says, go wait outside the jail and give her a place to stay. You think you're helping, but just enabling. Chicks dig football knowledge, as long as it also comes with a lot of money. She's not a gold digger at all, says JP. Zimmer is banging so much, he's shooting out knee cartilage and is now limping. Scott in Boston. She'll send a nurse when he's ailing while she's with the pool boy. Hey, but listen, while it lasted, it was a good thing. You got to understand that. Okay? Mike Zimmer will end up dying with a smile on his face. The coroner is going to try to, and I'll go back. And then, though, people are going to come in. Couldn't you take the smile off? I couldn't. I tried to straighten it out, and it goes back. And I'm putting it back, and it goes back, and I can't do anything about it. We tried crazy glue. It wouldn't work. It busted. It's still a smile. The man was happy. That's it. So if you ever go to Mike Zimmer's funeral, and hopefully it's 50 years from now, you're going to see a big old smiling face. Do you blame him? Can't. Oh, I have never seen her head to look. Zimmer's wife died unexpectedly in 2009 at 50 years old. How about that? It's terrible. She knows every crack and crevice of their ceiling. An NFL coach spends about 2 hours a day per week. What lady wouldn't want that? Exactly. That's it. That's all. Mike Zimmer is just a man that you need to admire, no matter what. That's all I'm going to say. All right, we're out of here. We thank Joe Shad. We thank Officer Eric Perez, as always. We thank all of you out there. Don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button. We appreciate you out there smashing that like button. We will see you tomorrow, live from Sloman's. Yeah, baby. We'll be in New York City. We'll be in Long Island, actually, broadcasting for the next 2 days, and then we'll go over to New York City. Remember, Friday night, Slattery's, 8 p.m. We'll meet there. Let's have some fun. Love to meet all of you out there and have a good old time. Let's get a big group out there. Let's chant the Dolphin fight song. Let's put that on video. Let's have a good time. I'm looking forward to it. I hope we get some folks to come out there. Watch Sean and I show up and nobody shows up. It's probably what's going to end up happening. Anyway, we'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, different place. Same, of course, OK Coin Studio and Bat Channel. Have a good one.
Oh, great. You got a doorbell camera. Now you got a front row seat to your house getting robbed. No. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Get out of my house!
Oh, Mom's jewelry. There goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No.
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Sloman's, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, a free doorbell camera.
Free?
One that'll actually work for you. It's not total security unless it's the Sloman Shield. Call 1-800-ALARM-NATE.